Okay, hey you guys. Hey. Hope you having a wonderful Friday. I don't know, Young and the Restless. At first I was excited about the whole Victor storyline. Now it's just getting real crazy.
Yeah, it's dry.
It is dry. Oh my goodness. Okay, so yeah, we'll talk about it. But we're gonna also have Bree popping in too. So she's gonna cover for Trish.
Okay.
Because Trisha's got some stuff going on this weekend. So it's just gonna be you, me, and Bree. So welcome you guys to CBS Soap Dish Recap, where Bree and Keisha and myself, Lady T, will be recapping both The Young and the Restless and The Bold and the Beautiful for the week of October 30th through November 3rd. And we usually do The Young and the Restless first. And then in the second half of the show, we do The Bold and the Beautiful. And then we have two segments at the end, the flip the script segment. If there's a particular scene or storyline you wish you could change, that's where we flip the script. And then who's taking some seats? Somebody that just got on your nerves, did something stupid. We're going to tell them to go somewhere and they need to go sit down and take a minute to think about what they've done. So that's how that goes. Also, too, as you come in, make sure you like the live. It lets YouTube know that that you guys are enjoying the content. Okay, so make sure you hit that like button. Also, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button as well. Everything from spoilers to daily recaps of both shows, all of that good stuff we do over here. The November sweeps video is coming out. I know I did a speculation video a couple days ago. Well, the sweeps are out for the month of November, and so I will also do a video for both shows over the weekend, so stay tuned for that. All right, girl, you ready?
I am. I just want to give everybody else the same disclaimer that I gave you. I'm getting over being sick, and I've got this really annoying dry cough, so every once in a while you might hear me coughing in the background, but when it gets to those points where it's becoming like one of those annoying coughing spells, I'm going to drop off because we don't have the mute option.
Yeah, you know what? I'm wondering, because like when you go live on TikTok or some of these other places, you have a mute button.
I know. I don't understand why they don't.
Yeah, that's crazy to me that you shouldn't be able to push the mute button when you're on Spotify for podcasters. So I don't know. Maybe what'd you say? Oh, there's Bree.
Hey, Bree.
Hi, everybody.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. It had me spinning there for a second, so I'm glad to join you guys. Happy Friday, everybody.
All right. So I already did the intro and everything. That's Keish. She must have had a coughing spell coming on. Because she said she got over being sick. I guess she had way too much fun in Florida. But, yeah, and so she has these coughing spells. So, she said if it gets too bad, she'll just drop off and come back in.
That's no problem. We'll hold it down for her.
Yeah, we'll get it going. All right, so we're going to start with The Young and the Restless. We was talking about how, are you getting tired of this whole thing with Victor playing his kids with this thing?
Almost 20 years now. Yes.
Yeah. Girl, I'm over it.
And the thing is, I wish there would be like some new material, because well, I know we'll get into it, but it's like, what more do your kids have to prove if you don't trust them? Just hire people outside of your family. But
exactly.
I digress.
Yeah, girl. Okay, let's go ahead. I'm going to do the summary for this week, and then we'll break down the storyline. So, Ashley confronts Tucker. Kyle agreed to betray his family. Nate realized Mamie is working for Tucker. Jack insults Billy and Mamie ends her partnership with Tucker while Nate tips his cousins off about them. Victor tells Nate he'll fire Victoria and Adam for plotting against him. Billy confronts Kyle and Chelsea returns. Christine has a flashback of love, heartbreak, and regret, and Danny considers what might be in a tribute for Laura Lee Bell. And then, let's see. Oh, okay. Billy's suspicions are raised about Kyle when Kyle drops out of his fight for Jabot, and Tucker gives Kyle an assignment after a bitter battle with Ashley. So, we only really have two and a half storylines this week. So that half storyline is the whole thing with Mamie and finding that Tucker and her were working together, and the rest is either Abbott's or Newman's.
That's pretty much how it goes.
Okay. All right, so let's get the half a storyline out this way. What did you think about what did you think about how Mamie found out about Tucker treating the Abbott family? I mean, was Mamie that far off the grid not to know how Tucker moves?
That was my question, but I guess it kind of makes sense since he's been pretty much off the grid of Genoa City, that maybe she really hadn't, had too much interaction with him. It's like maybe she knew of him and like, hey, like it was a good opportunity, and plus he was already related to Devon, so she thought maybe it might be, something mutual. And then she had to come to realization that Tucker is this, I don't want to say an evil person. He is just himself, and his goal was just not her goal.
Yeah, I don't know. I just it was like at first I'm like, why would she join up with this guy? She should know how he is, but then when Ashley had the sit down conversation about, oh my God, he's been terrorizing the family and what happened in Paris and he said this to me, and she was literally shocked and was like, I'm done with Tucker. I'm like, didn't you know how he was?
I guess I kind of took it as I assumed Mamie knew, like, basically the foundational knowledge. I'm sorry. The foundational knowledge of Tucker's behavior, where, he's a cutthroat businessman.
Mm-hmm.
But the story that Ashley was telling her, basically about how their relationship fell apart, made him sound more like an abuser than just a
that's true.
Than just a tough business guy. So I thought maybe that's why Mamie had the reaction that she did.
Okay, so you think that was what triggered her to pretty much cut Tucker off, with with what Ashley described of what happened in Paris, how he frightened her.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
That's what I was thinking.
Gotcha. Look, Delmonica said Mamie knew what Tucker was in for himself. She ignored the signs.
Yeah. I think she ignored what we all know of Tucker, mm-hmm, as far as his business dealings, and then when Ashley brought up what she did to her, it was kind of like, oh, oof, I can't continue to ignore the other stuff if he's this way towards the woman that he loves, as far as him terrifying her.
Yeah, even Jenna said Mamie just didn't fall off of a load of pumpkins. Usually in the business world, who's who, pretty much. And the way they describe Mamie as being this person that run all these businesses and own this and own that. But for whatever reason, I guess because it hit home, it was so personal to Ashley, I should say. Because she really, really, she looked out for the Abbotts. And then, of course, with Ashley describing, what happened. But can we backtrack just a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not going to excuse Tucker for the rage. We've seen the rage, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for a while, I mean, Ashley was using Tucker to stick it to Jack all this time. They were playing games with each other. She really was being with Tucker just to get under his skin because Jack was with Diane. And then when she realized, like, I don't want to play anymore, then she just pretty much say, well, I'm out. Now, I don't think he should have got crazed out of his mind, but I can also understand, her pulling that rug. What do you think? Or, I mean, him being kind of like, well, wait a minute. You know what I mean?
Well, it didn't even sound like, though, that Ashley was completely breaking up with him. It was just that she didn't want to do business with him.
That's true. That's true.
And it sounds like he got angry because Ashley, refused to go into business with him, and that's what set him off. So I guess I don't understand why that part of it made him angry enough to go off on her the way that he did, to the point where their whole marriage blew up, unless that was all he wanted from her, and he was using her in the same way that Ashley was initially using him.
I think he just reached a boiling point because, like, early this year, I think we were saying, like, how it was disappointing to see, like, Tucker try to, like, plead to Ashley, and he's, like, confessing his love, and he's, trying to go above and beyond for her revenge. And she was pretty much playing yo-yo with his emotions, and I think he reached a boiling point because here's something else where she's being yo-yo, where which I think she said, like, they were really into the fine details as far as simply Ashley, and then all of a sudden she wants to go back to her company. So he's probably invested money, invested time, just like she did. But it's really annoying when people flake, and I think maybe he might have reached a boiling point because there's no way for her to get that frightened when this woman was married to Victor Newman so many times.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
It does.
It makes sense. I mean, because there was times when I was doing recaps on Ashley, like you said, early this year, and I was like, why are you doing this? She is flaking that man out, and he's just going along with it, and because he was enjoying her using him to stick it to the Abbotts. And then, like I say, when she want to take her ball home and, want to stop playing and take her ball home and not play anymore, then, he's pissed off. Now, we don't, of course, they're not going to show us what happened in Rome, but we have seen things where, we have seen things where, hold on, my one of my kids sending me a text message about something. I'm sorry about that. We have seen Tucker's rage, okay? Where he just snap off. I'm trying to think. Once he was snapping off at somebody. Who was it? At Society.
Adam?
It was, but I thought it was more than one person. We've seen
done it several times.
He's done it several times.
So he's raised his voice to Audra before.
Yeah. Yep. So I can see where they wanted to paint. Oh, please. Yeah, I knew my computer was going to make the sound when they started texting me. I could see when, by them giving us a look of how he gets when he gets mad, instead of actually having us see that happen, she came back and said, oh my God, I never really seen that side of him. But I got to give Ashley credit for the fact that she said we both hold accountability in this. Because I was wondering, I'm like, do you see some of the stuff that you did? Because you weren't really into this man. I think she got into him later down the road, right? But right. But in the beginning, that man was doing everything in his power to get with her. And then she was like, okay, well, I'm going to use your affection because I'm pissed off at Jack.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the most frustrating things about the outcome of that relationship is we went through all of this with them. We went through Tucker, like, genuinely he genuinely wanted to be with her.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just waiting for Ashley to come around, which she, finally did at the last minute. I feel like right before they got married,
Mm-hmm.
was when she, really started to come around to wanting to be with him. They go to their honeymoon and then snap. Everything's done. He comes back without her and their marriage is over. And it's like we went through all of this drama with the business side of things, with her family relationship, like her relationship with Jack falling apart, to it it's ending up this way.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're right back almost to the beginning, to when Tucker, had plans on trying to ruin Jabot in some way, or Newman. Now he's back to that. Whereas before, he had let that go. And he was like, you know what, I don't care about Jabot, I don't care about Newman. I just want to start a business with you. And now we're back to him trying to ruin Jabot now, and whatever other plans that he's got. And it's like, well, all of that growth that Tucker had is just gone. And he's about to, ruin his relationship with Devon again.
Yeah, I think that was terrible writing because, I mean, I understand that every TV show needs a villain in some cases. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I agree with what you're saying, Keisha. It's like, why did we go through all of this? She could have, by her being in his life, she could have kept him under control. Because he was going to pretty much do whatever she wanted. I don't know how long that would have lasted. But for the moment, it was a situation of, you know what, as long as we work Simply Ashley together, I don't care about nothing else. And we can share a grandson together. Our kids are okay. Because, look, I mean, Devon and Abby came around. Because Abby couldn't stand Tucker for a long time. She finally came around. And then they just threw all that out the window, came back. And now we saw today's episode where Tucker was telling Ashley, we don't even want to be friends anymore. I'm done with you.
That was annoying, too. When Ashley's back now, and she's got her little plan to, well, let me try to cozy up to him to figure out what his plans are. And it's like, isn't this how you guys started back in whenever this was? Isn't that how they started?
Yes. Isn't it annoying? And I'm like, you of all people know what he's capable of. That's the reason why he was even appealing to you in the first place. You didn't care how he was pleading to you to stall how you used him. And that's why I'm a little bit more on Tucker's side. I don't agree with the fact that he terrified her, but I'm like, this woman was married to Victor Newman and other men who had said things that were terrorizing. But he's given her the lead. Like, hey, let's walk away from this. Like, let's start our new company. Let's start something fresh. And I don't understand, what is she terrified of? She was married to him before. She knew exactly who he is. He has the ability to put his evil tendencies to the side and focus on her. And I think she eventually played herself, and he reached the boiling point, and now she's scared and needs to know what this man is going to do now. And I'm like, you were trying to take over the company. You were already trying to take over the company. You know what this man was already trying to do.
And that's what she wanted to do. It wasn't even him that wanted to do it.
Exactly.
He was trying to talk her out of, doing whatever she was trying to do to get Jack out of Jabot.
That is true.
The writing makes no sense.
Yeah, because remember, I totally agree with you. In some cases, he was like, look, just let Diane and Jack live their own lives. We gonna do our own thing. We ain't got to worry about them. Let's just do us. And she was just wanting to use this as a way to continuously get under Jack's skin. And after it didn't work, and then Diane saved her life, everything just went out the window. Like, okay, I can tolerate you now. We're family now. And he's on the outside looking in like, I did all of this for what?
Right. And she was hell bent on it too. She was getting to the level of Phyllis.
Yes, she was.
Wanting to.
Yeah, her and Phyllis trade places when it came to be obsessive over Diane.
Yes, and didn't she try to recruit Phyllis, try to guilt trip Phyllis when Tucker initially tried to like buy her freedom?
Mm-hmm.
She was perfectly fine with that. It is just terrible storyline. But hopefully they clean it up soon.
I mean, well, this whole thing now leads us into, because we were okay. So hold on.
Oh wait a minute.
Yeah, we jumped a topic, didn't we? Because we was talking about Mamie first.
Yes.
Yeah, we were.
And then we went into Abbotts. But I guess it all ties into each other. So let's go back to the half a storyline with Mamie. Oh, jeez. Okay. All right. My oldest is in the middle of buying a car. So she asked me a lot of questions. And she's not, and as you know, as most of you guys know, she's not in the same state. So
I call my daddy on the phone when I'm buying a car.
Well, the thing is,
because I'm not a negotiator.
this whole car deal has been going on for the last 2.5 hours, 3 hours, I would say, and I was hoping by now, but you know how it is. You be in a car dealership all day. I hate shopping for cars.
Me too.
Oh gosh, girl, it is like, I don't have the patience, but yeah. But that's why if you hear me kind of pause in between and getting text messages, that's what's going on. It's a whole negotiation going on over here. All right. So now with Mamie not wanting to walk away from Tucker, the problem is Nate has already spilled the beans to Lily and Devon. Cause once he saw that text message, he went straight over. He didn't say anything to Mamie. And then Mamie found out about Ashley. He was already talking to Devon and Lily. And then on the flip side, she was over there cutting ties with Tucker. My thing is, what is now Devon and... It seemed like, well, you know what? It seemed like Devon was pretty easy going about it when it came to Mamie. He was more angry at Tucker.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It seemed like he was more, pissed off on the Tucker side of things than Mamie.
I mean, he couldn't really get mad. They're not related.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say there. He's maintained that Mamie doesn't know him, so maybe that's why he was more easy on her. But, I mean, was it before Nate or after Nate when Devon and Mamie were talking? He was telling her not to trust Tucker.
I believe this is before. No, actually, yeah. So that's the only reason why Devon went to GCAC. This is after he spoke with Nate and Lily. Yeah.
Okay.
It was a very short, like little scene right there, but. Yeah, they spoke, and I was actually very surprised when there was like a little bit of talk about Nate going back to the company. Lily wasn't opposed to it.
Mm-hmm. I kind of want him to go back over there too. I know what he did was extremely crappy, but I really need them to repair the Winters Hamilton family.
But the problem is Nate don't want to go. He's so far up Victoria's behind. Mm-hmm. He ain't trying to see nothing Chancellor Winters related.
Yeah. I think it's only a matter of time before Victoria kind of pushes him to the side, because once she finds out that Victor trusts him over her, that's going to change that dynamic a little bit. But that's just my thoughts.
I got questions about that when we get to that part of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that whole thing. I mean, at first I thought it was fun, and then it's like, I'm over it. Oh.
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't know. I'm curious to see what they do with Mamie next. They kind of just dropped it right there earlier this week. After the whole thing, he went and told Devon and Lily. We didn't see Lily and well, did we see Lily and Devon kind of? No, they didn't say anything to Mamie this week. It was Devon going over to Tucker.
GC. Mm-hmm.
And telling him not to lie to me. So Tucker is he's just lying all over the place. He's telling Devon to his face, I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean? No. I'm not doing anything. Yeah, okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
But
he lied to him so easy, too.
I know, right? He just lied like it's nothing, like he's just having a random conversation. It just glide off his tongue like easy peasy.
I mean, he really can't be too surprised by that. I mean, he knows how his dad is, and I feel like he has no room for judgment as far as, because Devon has done things in his past where he, had a power trip, wanted to take over things. I mean, it's no different. I mean, he's just another man in business. And yes, Tucker's tactics are, not exact their Victor level, but, they're evil enough. He still was trying to make an effort to try to have a relationship with Devon and have a relationship with his grandson. And, it seems like he was trying to separate the two, but like everyone's so suspicious of him, and rightfully so. But, at least with Devon, he was trying to have that relationship with him.
I think where Devon gets frustrated with him is that he will straight up ask him, like, what are you doing? Or are you doing this? And Tucker will say no. He'll lie to him and say no instead of being honest about it. And then later on, you find out you actually were doing what I thought you were doing, and you lied to me and said you weren't. And I don't know exactly. I still don't really understand exactly what he's trying to do in terms of Hamilton Winters, other than trying to help Mamie get Nate back over there. I still don't really get that whole little plan. But I think in Devon and Lily's head, they think that he's trying to insert himself in the company and take over somehow. And I guess I don't know why he just couldn't be honest with Devon about whatever it is that he's trying to do if he's not trying to take over the company.
You know what? I agree. This whole thing is all over the place. And they're saying this in the comment section too. It's like, what's the end game with this Mamie Tucker alliance? She only has a slither of a stake. It's not like it's a majority stake owner where she can take over the company and make decisions. How are you supposed to push Jill out? Jill have more of a stake in that company. Is she the majority shareholder over Lily and Devon?
I don't know.
I mean, they answer to her.
Do they answer to her, or do they just have to all agree on decisions?
So are all three of them, I mean, what, they all got 33 and a third or something? Or
I guess it would really be Devon and Jill. If anything, that would be equal.
You know what, you're right, because she's
Jill.
Right. I agree with you, because Lily is just in a position of what, CEO? Yeah. She got a position, whereas Jill is an owner and Devon is an owner. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how that dynamic works.
But the thing is with Mamie, what is she supposed to come in there and do? And like you said, the only thing that we know right now is that she's just trying to fight to get Nate over there. How are you supposed to push Jill out? Is this supposed to be a takeover, or you just bought a stake in the company just to annoy and get on Jill's nerves? That's stupid.
Right.
And there's no. Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. Just to prove I think it's just to prove a point to Jill.
Yeah, but that's stupid. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why you want to go through all that to say nah.
Right.
I mean, good grief. You know what I'm saying? And then you still trying to fight to get Nate over there, who right now, at this moment in time, Chancellor Winters is nowhere on Nate's radar.
Right.
Because he's so far up to protect Victor and this fake illness, supposedly, and up Victoria's butt. So it's like, what's the end game? I don't know what they're doing with that storyline. They need to clean it up and bring it together, and we'll see, because I gotta dive deep in the November sweeps to kind of break it all down. So, oh, Lord. Okay, let's move on to, you know what? Let's knock out the whole thing with Cricket. Cricket celebrated her 40th anniversary on the Thursday's episode. There were some people that watched it, some people that did. I mean, they went back through time, and we had a whole bunch of flashbacks. Did you guys? I know Keisha probably. Keisha don't usually do flashback episodes. Did you watch? Go ahead.
I had it on in the background. I didn't pay extreme close attention to it, but I did have it on in the background, so I saw little snippets here and there.
Did y'all like it?
It was on the background for me too. But I will say that the actress, she in age today, she's still very youthful. She looks better than most on the show. But she looks great. Congratulations to her. But you know, it was great while I was cleaning.
Yeah, I did the recap on it. I mean, you know, to do the highlights and everything. Well, no, I didn't. I didn't even recap that episode. I did the blog. Summary of it. So, I just, you know, I couldn't. I mean, I congratulations. I sent all types of stuff on Instagram, you know, stuff like that. But, yeah. And then they're trying to bring back this whole thing, because I did get to see little clips here and there at the end of the episode where, you know, Phyllis, I think, asked him out. And then
she asked him at dinner.
Right. She asked him out to dinner, and he was like, you know, I'll let you know. And then Cricket come down the stairs, and then he had a whole piano date with her. You know, and then there's going to be supposed to be a big little, well, I should say a cat fight, I'll just call it like that, between Cricket and Phyllis next week. You know, and Danny
saw that coming.
Yeah, but it's like, do we want to rehash that storyline all over again?
No.
I've said before, I'm here for it.
You are? Okay. Okay, so in the comment section, so Keisha already gave one vote. Myself and Bree, we're like, eh. So if you want to,
most people in the comments have the same opinion as the two of you, at least from previous podcasts.
Yeah.
My reasoning for it is because it pulls Phyllis out of the Diane Jack circle.
That's true. I think it was Jenna. Jenna dropped a comment into one of my recaps. And she's not liking the way Phyllis or Michelle Stafford is being written this past year. And yeah. I mean, with the obsession, I mean, that obsession started last year over Diane back in 2022. And it stretched all the way up into probably like 3 months ago when she went to court. And then you bring her, and I'm thinking like, I thought they could have gave her a new guy or something, you know, because she's either usually with Nick or somebody else. Well, Nick is off the radar right now because he's stuck in a stupid triangle with Sally and Adam.
He still is.
Girl,
he's still trying to be in that. That's what was so surprising.
Girl, we gonna talk Newman business. Oh my God, Sally been getting on my nerves for a while. You got money out of one Newman, you also got sex out of one Newman, and then you got sex out of the other Newman too. Girl, she is just in a Newman paradise. I mean,
she's doing it all wrong.
You say it. And doing it all wrong. Girl, you so funny. But yeah, going back to Phyllis, why not figure out. They could have made something out of the, what's that guy she was with, the one that they got rid of when she was.
Jeremy Stark.
Yeah, I mean, he was a nice looking. He was not a bad looking guy. Give her a dude or something. I don't know. She don't have a hotel. She's trying to fix this stuff with the kids. Slowly but surely, she finally got a job working with Daniel. Okay, and then now we got this triangle, and it looked like Danny is more leaning toward Cricket. The way his response was when he saw her come down those stairs, and even Phyllis asked you out to eat, not necessarily he have to go. But then you turn around and say, hey, you got a little bit of time? Here, let's go and play the piano. And I'm like, oh, Lord.
He did tell Phyllis we'll work something out.
What you saying?
Before he walked away from it. I was just saying he did tell Phyllis we'll work something out.
Girl, you can tell by his face. He like, yeah, I'll let you know.
Yeah. He finally got his dream girl. She's single. She's sad. Yeah, he's going to try to work his magic. And plus, he's not even Phyllis's type at all. So I don't really feel bad. I agree. I'm so happy this keeps her away from Diane. Thank you. Thank goodness. But at the same time, I don't really see the love connection. I mean, I see the friendship connection, and that he's really trying to forgive her and give her a shot. I do see that, but we know how we saw from the little clips, at least the ones I saw, that Cricket and Danny, that's that's their destiny.
Girl, listen. Bridget Jackson wrote, I'm not interested in them rehashing the Phyllis and Danny Christine triangle. That's been over or at least it should be. Yeah, I don't blame you. Go ahead and continue to talk. I gotta check this email right quick, but go ahead and continue to talk, you guys.
Yeah, I just think they're trying to figure out what to do with Phyllis right now, because Jack isn't an option anymore. Nick, like y'all said, Nick is out of the picture as far as she's concerned, and the only thing that she has going on right now outside of that is her relationship with her kids. So,
and I'm just not understanding, because at this point, her debt has been covered, right? So she could really just be putting money to the side or try to figure out where her money had went to, because while she's trying to hack into other people's account, get your money back and start your own company, because it's not going to last too long while she's working for Daniel. I think that's a slow ticking time bomb as far as that, because she day one, she was already complaining about her own boss. I don't think that she needs a man. She just needs to show that she can be stable by herself. And Phyllis is not the type where she likes to work underneath. She likes to feel superior and feel independent. And I feel that she needs to just have her own business. I was hoping that she and Adam would actually start working together after the stuff we saw early this year.
I was hoping so too. I don't know how long that would have lasted between the two of them, but it would have been interesting to watch them build some type of business together. Those two personalities.
Because didn't they work together previously before? I was really trying to think of that.
I think she was helping him when he took over a Dark Horse or something like that. Or she helped him take it from Nick.
Something to that effect. I think it was, they worked together briefly. I thought it was something over Vegas, but I think I might have been wrong. Oh, with Chance. Oh, the other Chance. Yeah, that's a different Chance, not the fine Chance.
Y'all so funny.
Okay. But it's
Chance. I miss him. I haven't seen him
Right.
on screen in a minute.
That's what I was about to say. It's been a minute. And then, I was blessed earlier on Instagram.
Yes, you were.
Oh yeah, I saw.
Yes, you were, girl. I was wondering if I could. I know Jenna follows me on Instagram, but I couldn't find her on Instagram because I definitely was going to send it to her too. Because we all know that Jenna is a chance fanatic.
That's her
So
man.
that's her man. She said, but y'all gonna get to see some chance next week because I don't know if you listened to my hot early spoilers. That whole remember back in early October when I talked about that behind the scenes where they took a photo of the girl, I mean of Summer being at somebody's bedside at the hospital, and I had said that that was Chance. That's happening next week.
Oh, okay.
And so there's supposed to be both Sharon and Summer standing their ground in this situation. Because if you saw Friday's preview for next week, she get that call about meeting Nina. Get that call about Chance being in the hospital.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Yep.
That was a really good recap. There's some good spoilers. I was laughing at the fact that Sharon is really going to fight over Phyllis's child like this, the same child that Nick created on her. You guys are going to fight over the same
Girl,
man.
everybody is saying the same thing you're saying.
That's just pitiful, and I'm like, we've only see them go out like on like one date. We see them hook up in the office at the coffee house. Then they came back to the coffee house after the first date they had.
Mm-hmm.
And then he escorted her to the Diane and Jack's wedding. And that's really it.
Now, I mean,
Yeah.
go ahead, Keisha.
Oh no, I was just agreeing. It was like yeah, they had those brief encounters, and then suddenly it's like, are they official or
Well,
are
listen,
they still just hanging out?
girl, listen. Here's the thing. You know they slept together, right? So
Yeah.
maybe Chance put it down so good she don't want to let that go. They ain't been doing nothing else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And plus, Nick is already sniffing around Sharon. As soon as Sally had crushed his little feelings, he's back sniffing around Sharon, pouting, and just So Sharon's about to have her hands full anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure what she's really trying to hang on with Chance. I mean, yes, I understand it's a delicious man. I get it. But, just get it in a few times and then let that man go. Just let that man go. You,
Girl, listen, I agree with you. It's like I don't even know why they put them two together in the first place.
because when did they hook up? It was back in.
Girl, it was in the spring. Maybe even
Really?
earlier than that.
Was it before Hope and Thomas or after?
Let me,
Maybe
you
it
know
was.
what? Let me check my Instagram. Because I did videos on them. Hold on, let me see. Where's
I
that
thought it was
shit?
before Hope and Thomas, but I could be wrong.
When they sleep together. Oh, jeez, this go way back. Okay, let me see.
Because it was a
Oh
minute.
yeah, here it is. It was, gosh, 16 weeks ago. So it was like what, 4 months ago?
Wow. Oh my
It's
goodness.
been that long.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that
it's
would put us
October.
at that would have put us around June. Wait a minute, this is well no in October. Well, November. So about June or
Yeah.
July. When did the Hope and Thomas? Yeah, the Hope and Thomas thing went down a week
July.
before.
It was like
Yeah,
last week of June, first couple weeks of July, right?
right. So the Hope and Thomas 4-day liaison happened July 10th. That particular scene with Chance and Sharon was about a week after that.
Okay.
Yep.
And that was just a blink. And the thing is, I was actually kind of hoping, to see some more of what Chance could do. Maybe he just needs a different energy. Not to say Sharon Case, didn't do her part, but it's just I just don't get them as a couple. I understand they're both on the rebound. This is the longest rebound ever in history.
Girl, listen, you know how Hope got an awakening and changed all her outfits and stuff. Maybe Chance can do that for Summer. Maybe straighten her
That's what I'm
hair.
hoping.
Well, I think it's gonna be the other way around. Maybe her fighting with Sharon might bring out a little bit of the bad girl Summer out, just a little bit.
I guess we'll see. I honestly want to see Chance and Summer together. I really
I do
do.
too.
I really do. We need to end this whole thing with Sharon and Chance. And I mean, like you said, Nicholas is gonna be sniffing around in a little bit. You know.
He's already pouting. Every time we see Sharon and Nick, he's already pouting. She's trying to conduct business, and she's like, "What's wrong now?" It's like
Right.
every time I see you, I'm paraphrasing, guys, but it's like every time she sees him, he's complaining about Sally, and he left. They broke up. It's done. It's
It's
over with, and he's always pouting. But
girl,
she's gonna cry. She's gonna soak up his tears or something. Who knows?
girl. Listen,
That, that's what I was
Nicholas.
confused about his. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Keish.
I was just gonna say that's why I was confused about his this week when he saw Adam. He's like, let me guess, you were begging Sally for another chance. And then when he saw Sally, he, seemed like he was annoyed that she had been communicating with Adam. And it's like, didn't y'all break up?
It was a situationship. It was a whole situationship. There was no initial commitment. She didn't even think about even loving this man until it was towards the tail end. And this is after this man had been trying to offer her a home and businesses and all kind of stuff. He was really simping out, and she was like, I'll take my time. Let me go from hotel to hotel and make this decision. And meanwhile, Adam has just been consistent. So I don't understand why this man is so mad. Why? It was a situationship. She was carrying your brother's baby while you were still poking her. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. Listen, girl. We've been talking about that for the last 8-9 months. I mean, since the whole thing, we found out the paternity test, and that's Adam's baby, but she was still trying to ice him out, and at the same time sleeping with Nicholas. It's just like, oh my God, what was y'all thinking when y'all wrote that? That whole thing is crazy. And then it's back and forth, and then Nicholas just gave her money for the business, and then she ended up sleeping with Adam again. Yeah. Oh, let's move into Newman. So, what did you guys think about Sally and Adam's session? Now, we kind of talked about it last week, right, Bree?
Yeah, that was very slow pace, but good for them.
What did you think, Keish? Because we didn't get to hear you last week.
I think I'm so done with the two of them being a thing that
Yeah.
it didn't do anything for me because I don't even want them together anymore.
Wow.
And I know, if this had been them when they first got together, it'd be a completely different story. But with everything that they put that relationship through over the last, how long has it been?
Almost a year.
I can't buy into it anymore because he did that stupid fake breakup with her. Sorry. And
oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
You know what I was hoping for? Just given the fact that they've written Sally to be so emotional, and she's so into her her thought process, like, no, stick with Nick, and then she's thinking about all these things with Adam. I was hoping it would be like a crazy hot, session, like where she's like, ripping his clothes off, and we've been spoiled with Hope and Thomas. So I was
Mm-hmm.
hoping, especially since they're a real life couple, it would be, he's, pinning her against the door or like on the couch. I mean, they had a whole bedroom suite. They could have like tore it up. And we've seen Devon and Abby do a little bit more than that. But that's just my thoughts.
Yeah, and I also didn't like the way, over these past however many months, the way Sally would, I don't know, it's like she would completely flip the switch when Nick was around and Adam was around, and just talk to Adam like trash. Like, what do you want? Or, I don't know, it's almost like she was trying too hard to show Nick that she doesn't have any care or feelings for Adam, and she's on his side. So let me treat Adam like crap, just like you do. The moments when she would do that kind of thing, it completely like turned me off of that shit ever happening,
You
because
know
it
what
just felt
else
so
too?
fake.
You know what else too is that she'll go and play nice with Adam, and when she get caught by Nick, then she'll throw him under the bus or she'll tell on him.
Yeah. Yep.
That used to irritate me. You just like the time when she went over to his house, ordered dinner, he left her there going through the stuff, and then the next moment you have a conversation with Nick, you throw Adam under the bus so you can look good in front of Nicholas.
Exactly.
That irritate, and I'm like, come on. And I don't understand why Adam, as much as I used to be, like you said, I'm kind of almost over it, but why Adam keep chasing this girl? Why would you? Go ahead.
I was going to say, it's the same reason why we don't know why he's still chasing this dream of running Newman Enterprises.
Yeah, true.
Or trying to get his family to forget to see him in a different light. It's like, Nicholas he's too hot and cold for me. Some days he like, well, maybe Adam this, and next moment he's like, just, I don't know, real rude and dismissive, and everything Adam do is to destroy everything. And I'm like, you got a whole daughter in college still walking around with her life in her because she has a kidney of his in her. Stop.
Just so ungrateful.
Just ungrateful. Even his life himself, when they were down in Kansas 2 years ago. It wasn't like this was 10 years ago. That was in 2021. When he came all the way to Kansas looking for Adam to bring him back to Genoa City, and that tornado hit, that man would have been done if Adam hadn't went and got the fire department to get him out.
And he had plenty of reason. I mean, the thing is, I don't understand why Nick is angry either. He's raising Adam's son that he doesn't really bring up or mention. I mean, he was handed he was handed $500 million along with his other siblings each. So you would think he would have more reasons to be happy, but he's so mad at the fact that it's the thought of Adam even going to Sally's room. I'm like, she was carrying his baby.
Mm-hmm.
And she was gladly happy to just sit there and just lay on her back. Mattress to mattress.
What's a mattress to mattress? You silly. You said mattress to mattress.
Is this the second woman in a row that Nick has been in a relationship with that picked Adam over him? Because who was he with before? Was it Chelsea before Sally?
Shoot, Sage
was
too.
Was he single for a minute?
I mean, it was Sage, it was Chelsea, but both Adam and Nicholas was dealing with Sharon. It's always they just yeah. Go ahead, girl.
So maybe that's why he's so salty, because these women they get in a relationship with him and then they realize after a while, well, maybe Adam was the better choice. Let me move on back over here with him.
Because they see Nick so angry, and I'm like, he's angry in every scene. Does anybody see that? Or is it just like, why? Like, he's never happy. Like, even in conversations when he's talking with Victoria, and it's this kind of a calm discussion, he's just angry, and he has like that CVJ mean look on his face. I know people don't know who that is, but it's just, I don't understand like the direction they want to go with Nick now. Like the whole storyline with Adam and Sally and Nick just really confused me about all three characters. More so Sally and Nick now.
Yeah, I'm over it. And like you say, in this particular week, he's like, you still talking to Adam, so I guess you are trying to explore your conflicting feelings like we discussed. Okay, well, if I'm trying to do that, let me do that. Right. I mean, why you getting mad?
Commentary on it.
What you said? I'll need a commentary.
Yeah, and I mean that's basically what he's doing. You didn't told her to do it, and now you want to give her the basically third degree about it.
And for what? It was a situation. I'm gonna keep saying it. It was a situation. So this was textbook definition, in case anybody did not know. But I mean, he's gonna go back on his merry-go-round, and Sharon is right next on that list.
I don't want to see that either.
Nope.
Would you rather see Sharon and Chance together or Sharon and Nick together?
If I had to pick one, then I would.
Be Nick.
It would be Nick, right?
Because I need Chance freed up from my girl summer.
Listen, okay, this other part where, because now this kind of moves us into this whole thing with Victor. So Adam is concerned. I believe he's legitimately concerned. There might be some people that think he's using this as, but I don't think so. I don't see it, because that conversation he had with Sally was like, maybe I drove him to this, and now he's sick and he's losing his mind, and I'm concerned. I love my father and all this kind of stuff, right? Then he has a conversation with his siblings, and here's the crazy thing. Victoria got mad because Adam didn't tell them about the doctor. And then when Adam says, okay, fine, we got a doctor, let's all do this together. No, you don't need to be a part of it. So you want him to keep you up to date, but then you don't want him to be a part of everything else to go along with it. Girl, she get on my nerves.
Yeah, that was straight up nasty to him.
What you say, Keish?
I was just saying they were straight up nasty to him.
Man.
When he talked about seeking out advice from a doctor and trying to come up with a plan, and I mean just the way they responded to him. You stay out of it. We'll take care of our father.
Just like. And this is where I hope, like, especially since the writer's strike is over, they refresh and revamp some of these characters, especially Adam, because that's where he needed to put his foot down and say, I'm Victor Adam Newman. What do you mean take care of y'all father? He needed to put his foot down. People need to put respect on his name. He's Victor Adam Newman. How can he not be a part of that?
They just bratty. I mean, Kyle is a brat, but so are those two.
They're the original brats.
Exactly. The way they treat him, they don't want him. Well, they want to know all his moves, but then when they say, hey, he wants to work with them. It'd be different if he was trying to just figure this out on his own, and don't tell nobody. Then you would think like, hey, what are you up to? But he wants to include the two of them. Look, let's do this together. Let's see what we can do to help Dad. And they were like, no, we don't want you a part of none of this. We'll take care of it. It's like, man, please. And I'm glad he kind of said something like, look, I'm his kid too. He told them that, and they left them standing there looking crazy. He said, "I'm gonna do it with you or without you." I was happy about that because it's like y'all need to cut that mess out. You know.
They really do, and the thing is, he what more can a person do to take over a company? I'm not understanding why this is so necessary, especially from Victoria and Nick's perspective at this point. So you guys know that he's playing you, but you originally wanted to go along with this so it can, throw Adam underneath the bus. And then they had the nerve to go back to this man with the information Victoria knows. So now everybody knows Victor's still in position. Nothing has changed. So what are you guys so mad at? I mean, if anything, you should be a little bit more curious as to why Adam actually wants to help out. See, like, okay, wow, he's really reaching out. He's trying to seek help. He's genuinely trying to show that he cares about your guys' father. It's very annoying to me.
I agree. Uh-oh. Oh, Keisha probably had the coughing spell. She'll be back.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, it is annoying. I am just so over it. It's like, at what point? That's when they need to take a lesson from the Forresters. Once they found out in this past day or so about what Eric is going through, they all coming together. Put the hate to the side, put the anger to the side, and let's, help grandfather, or in this case, Ridge, his father, right? These folks, they don't even know that they don't even know that Victor is playing with them and testing them, but it legitimately looks like he's losing, that something's going on with him. And instead, they want to sit around and argue with each other. The only person that's got a head on his shoulder, and I hate to say it, besides Adam, is Nate. Because Nate is like, look, you need to get some help. They're trying to help you. He even spoke up for Adam.
I was happy about that. I was like, okay, look at Nate. But you're right. Even Nate is even trying to throw a little water on this fire. And the thing is, Victoria is never going to change. And I hope that he kind of comes to grips that the woman that he keeps, going from mattress to mattress with, is she herself. She will not change. She's spoiled. She will gladly toss him to the side for the next position, because, like, what happens if Victor says, like, I can't trust anyone except Nate? He's going to be the CEO of Newman Media or Newman Enterprises. She will gladly turn that man into an enemy. So it's like, why invest in trying to help this woman and her family? Every time you get around him, it's drama. But he sees some benefit, I guess.
Exactly. I mean, it's always something. And so, like I said, it gets worse, because this leads into, because if you guys remember seeing in today's episode where, Adam want to be with full transparency, tell Nicholas about what's about to go down. I invited a doctor. Dad is having drinks. Why don't you come sit at the table? You can see what's going on. Maybe he can give us some answers. Nicholas is going to use that against Adam next week. Instead of actually being...
What is the negative in that?
Well, the problem is that he wants to throw his... See, the other part of this is that he don't want Adam to come out looking like a golden child. They're trying to purposely push him into a trap. Remember, they talked about that. Yeah. Victoria and Nicholas. So, even though Nicholas know that boy is concerned about his dad. He know that. But instead, he going to try to use this to get a leg up on Adam by saying, see, Pops, yeah, he set this whole thing in motion because he's trying to undermine you. He want to declare you crazy or out of your mind or that you're losing it so he can take over the company. The thing is, he's stupid because just say Victor is sick and he is going through something. Victoria's co-CEO. She's going to automatically slide into that position. Adam doesn't even, he works as Nate's assistant. How is he just going to jump levels if this is what he was trying to do? If Adam was doing that, all he's doing is clearing a spot for Victoria.
Right.
Go ahead.
That's why I just don't get, I don't get this plan that Victor is trying to do. And I don't know if you guys had already talked about this part of it or not, because I have to jump off for a second. But so is he legit faking, or is he for real? Is there really something wrong with him?
Well, that's what some people
on that too.
Some people were saying in the comments he is faking too good.
Yeah, and it would make sense that at least he's reaching out to Nate, who's like, had a good view of like his health overall. I think he said because he was his doctor at one point. And maybe this is, I think you mentioned before, this is also a test for Nate to see if he's actually going to probably run with this information with Victoria, because that question is still in the air. So Victor could easily be paying Nate and saying, hey, this is what's going on with me, please help me. Or he could just be baiting Nate and seeing if he's going to give that information to Victoria.
I guess even my thing about that is, if I were Nate and my girlfriend's dad is confiding in me about some medical issues, he's not his doctor. I would feel uncomfortable being in the position of knowing that there's possibly some serious medical issues going on with my girlfriend's father, and he wants me to keep it from her. You know what I mean? Like that.
I agree, but we've seen Nate do despicable things for the Newmans, like risk his medical license. So he's a gambling man. So I don't think he's too worried about anything like that. But I feel that he probably has a genuine respect and he cares for Victor to some degree, and maybe he's just trying to fulfill the good part within Nate that we all used to like, and showing a little glimpse of that. But so far, I will say he's trying to, but I will say so far he's not trying to plot or scheme or do anything.
So as of late, is he trying to see if Nate will go to Victoria and say, hey, let's use this to pull your dad out of his position for you? Or is he just trying to see if Nate will tell Victoria about his medical issues in general?
I don't know. I mean, the crazy thing about that is that the spoilers that had came out from last week for today's episode was the fact that Victor is playing hardball with Nate. That was the spoiler. And it's like, because I was looking for that. It was supposed to be some type of test. And I'm like, what? The only conversation I've seen happen between yesterday and today is the fact of this whole thing about him confiding in Nate because of him being his doctor in the past. And him getting a therapist and don't tell nobody. And we saw Nate give him advice telling him to take a leave of absence for a few days, maybe a week or so, and then make it look like you working from behind the scenes so Adam won't try to do it to you if you're here in the office. And I'm like, okay, so where's the hardball? Where's the test with this? I didn't get that.
Yeah. I'm afraid of what you said earlier in the very beginning of the show. Why are you even working with any of these people if you have to go through all of these tricks?
Are you close to the phone, Keish?
Is that better?
Oh, that's better. Yep.
Okay. Um, why not just fire them all and hire new people? Because if you got to go through all these tricks and stuff to see who you can trust, is it really worth it?
Exactly.
And this is decades of him
Yeah.
doing this and constantly testing his kids. And the thing is, if you want to work on your family dynamic, that's one thing. But if you're trying to like run your company, you don't trust the employees that you hired there, and they happen to be your children, then get other employees. And it's really that simple. And it's not like he's a dumb businessman. He can find people to properly fill that role, but he feels that he's the only person to do that job. Okay, then let things just be. There shouldn't have to be constantly be a test if you're really trying to bring your family in and have like a close knit unit. Because how can they want to work for you if you're constantly testing them and pinning them against each other?
And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's either time for you to retire or had that much longer left. So you just need to let it go and let Victoria or Adam run that company and just move on.
Honestly, I wish Adam would just move on. I'm over him trying to fight his way through the Newmans. I mean, even the conversation that Victor was having with Nate, having with Nicholas about Adam, it's like, whatever. Adam, go somewhere else. I know you and we've been talking about that for years.
Yeah.
I'm just over him jumping through hoops of fire for what?
You can buy Nick out of Sally's
Oh, that's a
whatever
good
funding
point.
he gave for Sally. And him and Sally could just start a business together.
Yeah, that could happen. And you notice how there's like a clique within the Newman family. Nobody's told Abby any of this. And that's her dad too.
Oh, they'll
Abby
be in the
always on the
middle of it.
outside.
Yeah, Abby will be in the middle of it next week.
And I would be very upset if it was Abby. I think if anybody, I don't think Victor is really going to be able to fool Abby in this case because she doesn't really have much of a stake in that company. So he wouldn't have a reason to try to test her too much. You know what I mean?
You know what, Bree? You got a good point because my thing is if your dad is going through something like that, why haven't Victoria or Nick? I mean, I could see Adam running into Abby because I believe he even told Sally. I would think if he ran into Abby, if we saw her on screen, Adam would have said something. But who's more closer usually is either Nicholas and Victoria, and they have said nothing, nothing at all to Abby.
I mean, Abby's usually not a thought for Nick or Victoria. Well, I mean, for Victoria, I mean, do they really have a decent relationship? I don't think Abby and Victoria did. I know there's a huge age difference, and Victoria was sleeping with Abby's men all the time. But did they ever? I mean, this is Victoria's pattern. She's always sleeping around. That's why her and Billy always got along. But I wouldn't expect for Victoria to go to Abby unless it's like a important family meeting or like the holidays or like in passing. I've never really seen her have the relationship. Same with like Abby and Nick. So the two older siblings, they feel they'll have a close relationship. So they'll always look out for themselves. I think the only time they wanted to really include Abby for their own gain was for the $500 million lawsuit. And that was years ago.
Yeah.
I forget Abby is even their sibling. I forget Abby is a Newman sometimes.
And
that's her name, Abby Newman. She feels more like she's always felt more like an Abbott than a Newman.
She has 3 last names. She is Abby Newman Abbott Chancellor. No, seriously, that's how that she is in the credits. I was laughing. I think I said that the other day.
Yeah.
That was the funniest thing.
Oh man, yeah. This whole plan of Victor's to just go through all these hoops. And just say the kids weren't scheming. You're scaring the crap out of your family, just in itself. Oh my God. I mean, it's just as bad as Phyllis. Oh well, Phyllis did a horrible thing by faking her own death and showing up at her own funeral just to see how her kids reacted.
But faking something like that it's that's terrible.
That's
a terrible
terrible.
thing to put your family through.
Girl, yeah.
What the symptoms that he's faking or showing is what that of maybe dementia or something like that. Yeah, I would be heated. I would have been heated if I was Nick when he found out that whole thing was a test.
Girl, but he did find out, remember? And then he admitted it, and then
I know.
And then Victor dialed it back like, did I say that? Did I?
And that's not anything to play with especially with your family.
It really isn't, and just it's already kind of hard to tell because of Victor's age. Mm-hmm. But at some point, like if I was one of his kids, I would feel exhausted because it would be like, you're doing this to me again.
Yeah.
I thought I was your child. I thought it should be unconditional love. But at the same time, these kids have shown that they've been spoiled, rotten, and that their love has conditions, especially Victoria.
Did you see what Victor said in the park to Nate? He said, these are the monsters that I created.
Yeah.
Yep, that was the most honest thing he said as of late.
Because Nate was like, do you actually think your kids will do that to you? And he was like, yeah. They doing everything that I taught them to do. I created these monsters. And I mean, honestly, I don't know about Nicholas. He is not like Victor. It's kind of like when you compare Wyatt and Liam to Bill Spencer. Liam is not like Bill.
Yeah.
You know.
You don't think so?
Girl, please.
No.
Tofu boy? No.
I feel if they were to really write Scott Clifton as a villain, I think he would knock it out of the park.
Oh, he absolutely would, and that's what I'm waiting for.
Well, they probably do it in the upcoming, but over the past decade or so that he been there, he was nothing like his dad.
Yeah, he wasn't. I do agree with that. I don't think he has been.
They tried to make Wyatt more like him, but see, Wyatt always hold both of them accountable. Which is what I liked about Wyatt. Wyatt could play dirty when he want to.
Yeah, I think he still had more of a conscience than Bill did as well.
Correct.
He stood his ground.
Yeah.
He stood his ground more. He stood his ground more in the way that I wish Adam did. Because even with the stuff that Bill, because Bill was torturing both of his boys. Even with the stuff that Bill did, and Bill is a billionaire. He was like, I'm perfectly fine going in my camper and my truck and taking off and living in the woods. Like, I don't have to deal with this. I wish Adam could just be more like that. So I do respect White for that.
I don't understand. What is this need for acceptance? I mean, it's one thing that he want to be accepted by his dad, but he also want to be accepted by his siblings, and they know that, and they are not giving it to him on purpose.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think he just wants to have some form of family, and that's understandable because he didn't really have siblings growing up. It was just him and his mom, and then he lost her. So he's just, maybe at some point in his life he grew up and he was like, maybe I just need to put the pieces together so I can have some family.
Girl, so he got the power to create his own. You better go for, if you're going to pick Sally, as much as I don't want him at this point, where to create your own family. I mean, because them with Nicholas and Victoria ain't budging. Nicholas is funny acting. He's hot and cold. One day he your friend, next day he can't stand you. Who want to keep dealing with that? And then your dad is a malignant narcissist who gonna keep making you jump through hoops, take different tests, move the goalposts, and and go through that whole cycle with you. It's like, who need family like that when they gonna drive you up the wall?
That's the one thing that I hate for Adam is he literally has nobody on this show other than his son, who now lives in another state and goes to boarding school. He doesn't have anybody.
He has two sons.
Yeah, Christian is somewhere.
But it's not in his custody, right?
Right.
That's the one that Nick is raising.
Right.
Which I still don't understand why they kept Christian with Nick instead of just moving him back over to Adam when he came back. But he has not one friend. He has no family that really gives him the time of day. And Victor, jerks his chain every other month. And it's just, he's out here basically begging for somebody to love him. And he's not getting anything in return. Well, he might get something back from Sally now, but even then, that's just a potential romantic relationship. How long are they going to let them last? You know what I mean?
Girl, listen. Oh, I'm sorry.
He has no mother figure. I don't know what happened to his relationship with Jack. They used to be close at one point, but
they are.
Remember
they made some deal with the information on Tucker, and he was like, hey, I might need a favor from you in the future, and Jack was like, okay, cool, and he just left it open ended. So he got something right there with Jack,
Because Jack is the father figure that he wished Victor could be.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
He has no motherly presence in his life.
Nope.
I wish that they would find a way to make him and Chance friends again. Because I want him to have a friend, like a male friend his age or around his age. Just like somebody he can hang out with, because he just be floating around.
What would be nice if they can make Claire Grace his sister.
Oh.
And let them two team up, or he get a connection with somebody that really, this is my sister over here. I don't know.
I'm actually thinking that with Adam, maybe it's just more so he wants to try to show that he can put the family together, show that he can be the leader instead of being the bratty sibling. Maybe he's kind of recognizing the test a little bit more, so he's actually going to do the research, get the doctor, and try to see what's going on with his dad. He's not trying to make his dad the bad guy in this case, which, if you want to be a leader, you have to see all the sides. So maybe he's just trying to show that he wants to pull his family together, that he wants to lead.
Yeah, I agree.
They're not even letting him do that.
They're not letting him do it. And like I said, that whole thing next week, Nicholas is about to flip the script on him and turn that whole gesture into something nefarious, and Victor gonna be pissed. Believe in Nicholas. That's the crazy thing. It's like
Liam tendencies.
Oh, that's crazy.
That was Liam tendency.
You're so funny.
But I think the only friend that Adam could have would be Nate in this case.
But Nate is always suspicious. What do you like? He did that episode.
Because of Victoria.
He's right because of Victoria. But if that relationship becomes finicky, I feel like Adam and Nate have kind of opened up a little bit more than I feel Nate's more friendly to Adam than Adam is to Nate or Adam. I feel like they would kind of relate to each other in some sort of way in this situation. I don't know.
Yeah. Darby 13, she said he or she, I don't know, I'm not sure. I don't want to screw that up. I thought Adam and Tucker were tight, but they messed that up when he told Jack's secret. Yeah, because they were tight, they're pretty cool too. Oh, well. The only person he technically have right now is Sally. And that's hanging on by a thread if it's up to Nicholas and Chloe.
Him and Abby should be the two siblings that are close. Because they're both of them are the forgotten siblings on the outside looking in.
You would think.
Well, I can't really say Adam's the one forgotten because they bring his name up any chance they get. It's Abby, where is Abby?
That's a good question.
See, we had to think about it.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, you are right about that. Even when it's just Nick, Victoria, and even Nikki, when they sitting around, all they do is talk about what Adam could be doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, oh my God, give it a rest. Y'all worse than Ashley and Phyllis was about Diane.
Right.
And this is years and years and years.
Well, I'm just over it. I mean, they all done bad things. All of them. But they make it like Adam is like, oh yeah, we're never going to live this down. You're going to continue to hear how much we don't like you because of the things you did. Even he said that today. You still talking about the past? We need to figure out what's going on with Dad now.
Right. Who was that last week that blamed this whole situation going on right now with Victor? Blamed it on Adam. Was that Nikki?
Yes, so. Nikki.
It's like, how is this possibly Adam's fault that Victor decided to
put this plan right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they keep saying
it's all Adam.
And then
they
keep telling Victor, all you gotta do, you know it's gonna be him. Just get rid of him. You know it's him. Please, whatever. Okay, I know we've been spending some time on these Newmans. I'm over this whole plan. Just get it over with. Victor, what you gonna do? Did you figure it out?
In the comments, says, I think Claire is a love child from Nikki's past.
It's possible.
Oh, wait, because she looks.
But they already gave her a son with Dylan. It's like you gonna give her another kid.
Because I think, when was she pregnant? Because she looks like she's Summer's age.
Yeah, she looks pretty young.
They need to give us the clues on her. At least we have no idea of what's going on with her. But I guess there's a let me check. So Victor.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna read one of Jay Money's comments.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
He said it would be nice to see Adam and Nate become friends, and they could be the Victor and Neil duo of the future.
I was thinking the same thing. Mm-hmm. Well said. See, we the Dusty Destiny. Kidding.
Oh my gosh, you're so funny.
Hey, J Money. But no, I completely agree with that. I thought that's why I was thinking that's why they could have or start a friendship, because I mean, Nate's the only other person who knows how the Newmans really get down and has helped cover things up, so he's not above the law, and has a good idea how Adam, Newman, how everyone operates. So it's to Adam's advantage and Nate's too, because I feel eventually Adam will take over. I feel Victor's trying to get Adam together, because otherwise why would he keep helping him?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's exactly what he's doing.
The problem is, even if he did groom Adam to take over, he gonna be fighting the other part of the family for a very long time. Nikki ain't gonna go for that, and Victoria is gonna be fighting him tooth and nail, and Nicholas just hates him just because. I mean, I don't even know if I would want to be in a position like that. It'd be like Pops. I mean, he tried to give him a company. That didn't work. Victoria had to undermine that whole situation with the Cyaxaries Newman media transfer. You know, when she told that lie about Billy. And it's like, It's always going to be something. That's why I'm like, Adam, just do your own thing, free and clear. And that's what I think they dropped the ball on when Sharon came to him about that Kirsten company. That's
Right.
something that they could have done together. Leave Nicholas out of it, leave Newman. She went over there and decided to give Victor a piece of it. We had this whole story where Victor almost took it, then he gave it back. It's like you and Adam could have worked that together. That pull him away from that whole dynamic. But no, they had to do that. And now you got Nick working over there with her, but sticking his toe in over at Newman.
Right.
It sucks.
Yes, I completely. And the thing is, I feel Adam and Sharon would have worked well together. It was when they added Nick. Like, what do you
Yep.
need to add Nick for? You both Sharon and Adam have money. They don't
Yeah.
need Nick for anything. He is a temp. This is Kelly Service's best employee.
You're silly. I mean, and the thing is, Adam has the expertise. This man is a Harvard business graduate. This man working as Nate's little gopher. It's
Right.
like it's just a slap in the face. And he's doing it like, okay, I'll do anything just to try to see if I can get into the Newman family. Man, is it worth it? Take them skills. Ain't no way. I don't know how much Hope paid for his degree or did he have a scholarship or whatever. But
I
with
think
all
Victor paid for it.
girl, somebody paid for it. All that money you put in there, let that boy use that talent.
Exactly. And just wasted giving him to Nate and you keep testing him when you could be utilizing him. He could have been in that seat for years, running it smoothly. It's like, what's the point of giving in these titles if you don't want them in it too long?
Right.
You want to groom them for what? To continuously testing them?
Girl, that's crazy. All right, we got to move on to the Abbotts. And then we got to move on to Bold. We didn't spend an hour and 35 minutes on the Young
Lord.
and the Restless.
Goodness.
And it wasn't even that much going on.
Exactly. I think it was a lot of our ranting that kept it going. Okay, so this last thing about the Abbotts, which we kind of talked about Tucker and Mamie, but it all roads lead back to Tucker because of this whole thing with Kyle. And Billy, him and Billy fighting over that position, and Jack gave him the COO position. You don't want that? What do y'all think about that?
The entitlement. He is gone from job to job, and he could have shown that he was grateful because just like what Tucker was saying to him earlier, like his dad provided him everything.
Mm-hmm.
You're a billionaire's kid. He's offering you the top seat next to him, and that's not good enough. So what do you feel your qualifications are for? Because there's no way he has more experience than Billy does. There's
Right.
no way. And just the fact that he feels he deserves, just because he was handed that title for a temporary amount of time, now he feels he deserves it. He feels he's proven himself. And it's just very disappointing when I see people so ungrateful and they're rich.
Oh, but you want to hear something else that's crazy about Kyle? He's pissed off at Jack for not ousting Summer at Marquetti.
Yes.
And I'm like,
I
it
was
was
so
her
mad when he said that.
it was her company she brought over from Europe. Why
Right.
would you think you could get entitled to staying in that company when it was her company? And I was clapping when Billy said that to him.
Me too. Because he was on point with it.
And the thing is, if Jack wanted Kyle to stay there, he could have made that executive decision to do that, but he was going based off of his son's emotions at that time. He wanted to be around him. So he was like, let's create some space and then let's try to find you another position. Jack was always trying to work with his son, and Kyle can't say that he's not being heard, that his father doesn't care about him. He cannot say that.
Darby 13 said a COO position is better than the Jabot janitor position.
And he doesn't even want that. I don't understand with Kyle and Victoria, this entitlement.
Because they want to be the one making the decisions, and they don't want to answer to anybody else. That's all. That's what it is. And they know as a COO, they can't make the ultimate decision. It's unreal.
It really is. And I'm like, that CEO position at Jabot has changed hands. And I'm like, there's other people who are qualified more than Kyle is. Because it's not just Jack. There's Ashley. There, who else? Phyllis has more experience than Kyle.
Adam, I mean, he was co-CEO. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I agree with you on that, Bree. And for him to say, nope, I want that seat because that, I deserve it. You don't deserve nothing. You get what you get. You get what you qualify for. And you're not qualified for that, Kyle.
And my question is, let's say that there wasn't a co-CEO role, and it was just the CEO, and that's it. No two-person job, two-man job, and it was just Jack. Would he still be pissed off about being offered a COO position, or would he be trying to take his father's job?
Yeah, that's a good question.
So that's
an excellent question because what would be your thought process then, Kyle? I mean, if there was no CEO, no co-CEO position, and it's just Jack in that position, and you got a COO position available, what would you do with that? Would you be like, well, unless I'm CEO, I'm not taking the COO, whatever? Girl, that's crazy.
I think we've seen Kyle has no standards. So this wouldn't surprise me if he was trying to knock his dad off the seat. He's trying to do that now and go completely against his family. I was flabbergasted by the fact that he is hanging on to the words of Audra that she can guarantee a position at his own family's company.
Girl, he's stupid.
A company she ain't even a part of it anyway.
They don't even have it in their grasp. How do you? I could see if she was already working there, or Tucker had a stake in Jabot, or kind of like a Mamie move.
They need him to do it. They need Kyle to do it.
Girl, he's so stupid. Girl, it's painful. It's cringy and painful to watch. Because it's like, dude, are you that so far gone? This girl done put the mojo on you so deep that you're not thinking with the right head.
Right.
At all. And he's still going back to her after knowing that she is still sleeping with Tucker.
Oh, girl, yes. Go ahead.
So it's like an entire tennis match that you're playing with Tucker now. It's, and I think I said this last week, it's like 6 degrees of separation between him and his aunt.
Yeah.
With these people. It's disgusting. So you left Summer to go cheat on Audra. You went from 2 job positions, and one of which you got fired from by the same chick who is clearly, is a schemer, who is a 304, who has no qualms of the tossing you to the side. You get back with her, and she's supposed to promise you a position at your father's company, and he is handing you a COO position that you don't want.
Girl, and the crazy thing is Audra is telling him to his face when he asked her, are you using me? And she's like, well, what if I am? Or have you been sleeping with Tucker, or you have a relationship? Well, maybe it's not him. Maybe it's me seducing him. It's like, dude, she's telling you straight up to your face.
Right.
And you just like, oh, okay. Sure, I'll do it.
So what is Audra getting out of this?
Girl, I
she promised some type of position or something?
Well, she's supposed to run the company, both of them side by side, because Tucker is telling them, I don't want to run the company. I just want to take it away from the Abbotts and let the two of them run it. My thing is, Kyle, do you realize what the aftermath of that is going to look like? Just say Tucker succeed, take over the company, give you the co-CEO position alongside Audra. How can you look at your family in the face at the house, at the dinner parties, when you come by, because Jack gonna kick him out that house. Where are you and Harrison gonna stay? You got
in Audra's room.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
and
go ahead.
Who's to say that in 6 months Audra isn't going to try to kick you out of your own company, you using Tucker to help her?
Yeah, because she's not opposed to firing him.
No.
And he's still sniffing underneath her. I don't understand this Liam tendencies here.
Girl, I'm just not happy with Kyle right now. And then you're gonna sit up there and I'm glad Billy pieced it together today.
Me too.
Billy was like, something ain't right. You gonna sit up here and fight me for the company, and then 30 seconds later you're gonna be like, nope, I'm done. Yeah, I gotta change your heart. And for him to say there's that whole 6 degrees of separation, the only contact next to Tucker is Audra, and that's his girlfriend, there's something cooking. And Billy and here go Jack. Oh, that's just not something I think I want to hear. Dude, you better listen.
Right.
Your son is stabbing you in the back.
I can't wait for them to find out, or for them to have confirmation of it.
Girl, and then Tucker
gonna come crashing down.
Exactly, and then Tucker talking about, I got an assignment for you. Did you see how scared that boy looked in his face?
Well, he was talking a good game. He might as well see it through, and I hope that when Jack finds out that he really gives it to his son, and not just give him like a pat on the back and say, "Don't do that no more." No, I want him to really get on his son, but I feel this is where the crack is going to happen between Jack and Diane's marriage, because Diane is going to go hard for her son.
Yep, she sure will.
And
even if she betrayed the family, you think she will?
Oh yeah,
she has no room.
Exactly, that's what it is. Because she would have no room to talk about betrayal and lies and scheming and all that kind of stuff. So she's going to have sympathy for Kyle. She's going to make excuses for him because she knows what it feels like to be on that end of the boat.
Yeah, she's going to be captain of Kyle's redemption tour. If anything, that would be his main ally. And we've seen that she's seen the downward spiral with him already as it is. Well, they all have, but she's seen it more. And I think she's going to be more forgiving. And plus, she has no room to talk. She disappeared on her son for years. So she can't really, he can really throw it back to her. But, I think this is where the crack in Jack and Diane's marriage is going to start. And I'm hoping that that's where we get to slowly see Phyllis and Jack kind of come together.
Oh, no.
I feel it's going to happen.
Oh, Bree, don't speak that into existence. After me and Keish was talking about this about a year and a half ago, with that whole thing, what they did between the two of them, put them in the friend zone, and they played hot and cold with each other. We were over it.
Yeah, I've never really liked Phyllis and Jack as a couple anyway. But after all this BS they did with ruining Phyllis's character in favor of Diane, I really don't want them back together ever again.
J Money says, "Stop it, Bree." Trying to put them two together.
I feel Phyllis is without a man, and the thing is, I know, as soap fans, we hate when certain couples are together, but they can only remix so many couples that are single at a time. And I feel when that stuff comes out about Kyle, he is going to look far worse to Jack than Phyllis does to Jack, because that's going to cut him really deep to know that it was his son who betrayed him in the worst type of way. And I feel like
first time.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. But I feel with Diane, she's going to take up for her son, and then Phyllis is going to be right there, giving her 2 cents to Jack, and that he's going to start listening to that. And I feel we're going to go down that rabbit hole for 2024.
Think so, huh?
I could be wrong, guys. I could be wrong. Especially the way that they're writing these characters now is so unpredictable. It's hard to keep up sometimes.
I'm curious to find out, because I'm looking at the notes for the spoilers for November. They saying that the revenge plot is going to backfire on Tucker, so I'm wondering if maybe because Billy is having a conversation about this whole thing about Kyle being recruited, if I was them, meaning Ashley, Jack, and Billy, I would pull Kyle to the side and say, look, we know what you up to. And if you don't want to ruin this family, I think you need to step away. To sit back and not bring this to his attention after they already got an idea of what's going on, it would be foolish on Jack, Billy, and Ashley's part not to say nothing right now. You need to catch this dude now before this gets worse. So, I don't know. We'll see. But, I think that's all. We covered everything, right? Go ahead.
Yeah. I was going to say a few people mentioned in the comments earlier, because we didn't really mention it. But did either one of you feel bad for Tucker when he walked out of society and kind of had a little moment where he teared up after talking to after talking to Ashley?
I did. Yes. That's because this woman is like very finicky with her feelings, and the thing is, she shouldn't be surprised to know the man that she claims that she loves and she wanted to marry and wanted to use like a dog. So I think that he really loves her and he really cares for her.
He does.
Even though he cheated in his marriage.
Yeah.
I think he loved her.
He thought they were done. He thought they were over. Let me shut up.
All right. Let us keep it moving because we got to get through Bold and yeah. All right, you guys. It was almost 100 of you in here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button if you're enjoying the content. We are now going to move over to the Bold and the Beautiful. Also, check us out on Instagram, TikTok, X, which used to be Twitter, and a blog. And I already have the Monday's episodes notes for November 6th in the blog. And you can go and check that out. And all of those links, if you follow me on Instagram, there's a link in the bio on CBS Soap Dish Recap, and it'll take you to all different places. So it takes you to the blog, it takes you here to the YouTube channel, it also takes you to the merch app, whatever link. And so, yeah, if you can go through there to get to it here. I'm trying to see if there's a way to pin it on the YouTube side. Otherwise, I would have to keep posting it every day to the blog. But I'm going to keep digging because I know there's some new features that YouTube is coming out with. So hopefully one of them is being able to pin a public comment on this channel. So we'll see. But you can also check us out on those other platforms. All right, let's move over to Bold. We're going to keep it moving. Let's see. Bold and the Beautiful. All right, so for Bold and the Beautiful, for the week of October the 30th through November 3rd, we had the fashion show continues with Brooke confronting Katie and Donna for keeping a secret about Eric and the Countess glaring at Esther. RJ tells Brooke that Eric is dying. Charlie and Esther kiss, and Carter learns only one collection sold out. Ridge learned that he won the fashion showdown just before RJ tells him Eric is dying, and Eric shows up demanding to know the results. Steffi and the kids return to Finn, and Ridge lies and tell Eric that he won the contest. Steffi storms over to Deacon and shoves Sheila, telling her that LA is her city, and Ridge returns Eric's stapler. Alright, let's go ahead and get the fashion show stuff out of the way. First of all, what y'all think about this little chemistry between Esther and Charlie?
It was cute, but I'm like, what happened with Pam? They didn't really give a resolve to that. Because I'm like, you just cheated on
Girl, they don't
Pam.
do they give a resolve on Bold when people be leaving? No. People just disappear.
No, but it was
I think
good.
the only thing was, oh, sorry.
I know you're fine. I was saying it was good.
I think the only thing they really showed was him on the phone with Pam, and Pam saying she wasn't going to come to the fashion show.
Mm-hmm. And hung up on him.
Up the phone.
Right.
Yeah. And he, what did he say? Something like, I have bad luck when it comes to love or something like that. And that was literally it. So next thing you know, him and Esther flirting with each other, sending little googly eyes across the room and kissing each other.
Twice in the mouth. And it was good. I was like, good for them. This is light and refreshing, and Charlie was able to mind his own business with something for once. You know, it was great.
I'm curious to find out, because I think she's supposed to come back for her fittings, because she bought that dress away from the Countess, which the Countess was pissed. Are they going to try to continue this little small love affair that's budding between Esther and Charlie?
I wouldn't mind seeing it.
I think so. The holiday seasons are coming up.
For each other.
Yeah, it fits. I like it. No, I don't hate it.
I'm wondering how they're going to cross that over. Are we just not going to see those two, and then when they come back on screen, they'll be like, I saw Esther, I saw Charlie, you know?
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it'll just be random appearances.
Yeah.
Kind of like how they did with Pam, really. I feel like her appearances were random.
Mm-hmm.
And Charlie.
Yeah. So what
When's the last time we saw Pam?
Oh, it's been a while.
I don't remember.
Girl, I don't remember. All right, let's just go ahead and move into this other part with Eric. A lot of people were pissed off that he won because, pissed off about Ridge winning before knowing the next day's episode, because I saw a lot of comments was like, oh my God, I can't believe the writers are going to let Ridge win. That's crazy. And then the next day, Ridge gave Eric the win. What do y'all think about that?
Kind of saw that coming.
It would have been better if it would have been a better ending to me if it was a draw, and that they both sold out their collections to show that they're both equally, on the same level. I think that would have gave Eric the satisfaction that yes, he's just as good as his son, and that his son is able to take over when he does leave, and at least Ridge would have shared that moment with his dad if they both won. But I was shocked that they let Ridge win. Like, why? That was so stupid.
Yeah.
The storyline is stupid to begin with.
Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah, I don't know. The way that it's looking, it's kind of like maybe this might be it for him. What do y'all think?
I think it is.
Yeah, I'm assuming so. I had heard previously that he signed a new contract. But if they're doing all this, then I can't imagine that this isn't their way of sending him off.
Yeah, well, that whole thing about the 3-year contract was debunked, and it was a an article from way back in 2011, and some media company decided to use that as a way to get views. And yeah, there has been no information about whether he signed a new one, whether he didn't sign it. We're pretty much watching this unfold in real time. If he has signed one, it's under wraps. But I don't, it ain't looking good, because the way they got him, I mean, look at what we had to go through when Stephanie passed, when, she left.
So they jacked up her little exit storyline too, in my opinion. I I don't know. I guess knowing that news makes me feel a little bit better about this storyline, and I feel like it wasn't for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
However, I feel like they could have written something better for his exit. Like they basically put him and Ridge at odds for X amount of months. Had Ridge's son hide his dad's illness from him for however many weeks it's been. Literally nobody, his grandkids don't know, but all the Logans know.
Right. You are absolutely. Oh, I didn't even think about that. You're right.
RJ is a Logan.
Yeah, basically he is. But it has frustrated me this whole time that Eric chose to work with RJ, and I know they did this to give RJ something else to do. But it frustrates me that RJ is the one that he picked to work with and not Zendaya. So that was another part of the story that annoyed me. And they're not making his exit, and maybe they're about to now because Ridge knows, but they're not making it about his family at all or his relationships. It's been about this stupid freaking fashion show for the last however many months. That came out of nowhere.
Right. And do you guys think that maybe they are writing this the way it is, and now the real writers, I don't want to say the real writers like that, but like the permanent staff writers are back. Maybe they're going to be the ones to kind of tailor his exit towards the end of the year versus the ghostwriter staff and giving him that exit.
I don't know. I honestly wish they could have, and I don't know. Maybe they just want to close the chapter on this character altogether. Let him go off in retirement, and I'm moving to international.
Australia with his brother.
Yeah, something like that. Do we have to go through the bloody handkerchiefs and all that? I don't even watch that stuff in movies and stuff like that. That's just me. I'm more of I like my soaps. I like my dating and marriage reality TV. But, when you start getting into blood and ER, I never watched like the doctor programs. I ain't like that type of stuff. So.
Yeah, I would have preferred it be a retirement. I'm moving to Australia to spend time with my brother kind of storyline too than an illness.
Yeah, because you got to go through the process of, seeing him deteriorate. And it's like, and I think even Trish said this. She was like, I understand it's a soap, stuff like this happens, but sometimes people want to get away from, the real life everyday stuff. That's why they watch the soaps, for fun, drama, exciting. And this is dramatic. I just wish that they could have done, like you said, yeah, his brother live in Australia. I'm moving to Australia. I'm officially retiring. I'm turning over the company to you. I'll be what they call that when you're still part of the owner, but you're not really active. It's a term for that. Did something like that where we won't see him on screen if John McCook is actually going to retire, but make it easy on us. You know what I'm saying?
Especially if you're not going to bring all of his kids back.
Right.
I don't want to just see a couple of them. The man has 5, 6 kids.
Yeah.
I want to see Rick and Kristen and Felicia. I want all of them to come back. Marcus. They didn't do that for Stephanie either.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marcus.
I mean, people retire from jobs all the time. You have somebody at the job 40, 50 years, they get a retirement party, and then they take off to live in the islands and somewhere. Right. You know, they could have did something like that, unless they just want us to not think that there is no Eric Forrester anymore. I mean, it's like, dang, really? Okay.
And so, I don't know. I just this whole thing's just been frustrating for me to watch and boring as all hell.
Y'all didn't wait a minute. Y'all didn't like the dresses from the fashion show?
I love the dresses. The fashion show, this cool. Beautiful fashions, and I love the fact that they did a different setup, because it actually felt like they were modeling instead of like going back and forth with the same 3 dresses when they do fashion shows. But beautiful gowns.
5 foot runway.
Beautiful gowns. There was that silver one towards the end with the hip belt that was really cute. That black dress. I wish I saw the pictures. I need to pull up on the phone or something. But they were beautiful gowns. Not all of them were my taste, but they were beautiful.
Yeah, I did think the gowns were pretty, which is
okay. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Joan and Grace Scavage. She said John McCook himself. He said it himself, signed into 2026. He said the plot involves father versus son. Brad Bell just interviewed saying that they taped 10 episodes and expect lots of emotional scenes and drama. Joan, can you let me know where you found that? Because I would like to see that. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram. Hit me up in my DMs in the message area if you have that information. Because I would like to check into that to see, what's the details behind that. Okay? Because, I mean, everybody's asking. Everybody's wondering. Go ahead. What you saying?
Yeah, I was just going to say, my thing is, if this character doesn't die or retire at the end of the storyline, I'm going to be pissed.
What?
She said she going to be pissed.
Because y'all. Yeah, because y'all done dragged us through all this BS.
I kind of understand what if you're going to take us through this emotional turmoil. And I guess people can flip that with happiness with the cure, but, ooh, I can't.
I don't want it. I don't want a cure. Just let him go off into the sunset if this is what it's going to be.
Well, y'all heard it from...
This storyline has been painfully boring, pulled out of thin air, no indication or build-up that Eric had, whatever issue he had. On top of, he doing stupid stuff again with the money because they were complaining about how much he was spending on his line. And then we find out that if Eric wins, Hope for the Future's budget is at risk. So, because of your stupid little ego, you done basically risked one of your most successful clothing lines because Hope for the Future was doing good. Like, they had that successful trip. Everybody was praising Thomas and Hope. And now because Eric wants to puff out his chest, he's putting Hope for the Future at risk.
I mean, I'm on Eric's side. This is what I'll say. If this is his grand finale, he's the founder. If he wants to spend the money, it's his name. Nobody should complain when that's the name they eat off. Forrester, as much as they drive home and saying that they're Forresters, if he wants to spend money and spend that budget and say, hey, this is my last go around, I'm going to really make this count. I support that because Hope for the Future is going to be there after Eric. So if that's put off to the side, that's fine. They had a whole campaign with those 2 dresses in Italy, and that was all. That's all that they got from that. So it's not like she didn't have a push. She had a push. It's just he wants to, have his last go around. And eventually the company is going to go to those kids anyway. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, I do know
and
that.
This is why Eric's attitude and what he, in my opinion, what he's doing right now with this whole little fashion show face-off is why he's lost that company, or why that company has been in trouble in the past. And Stephanie and Steffi have had to save his ass because he does stuff like this. He doesn't care. It's my name, my company. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to put us in a potential financial bind and basically tie up funds that could be going to this successful line over here because I want to beat my son in a fashion show. Like I get what you're saying, Bree, for sure. But you still run a business, and that company has been in financial trouble before because of stupid decisions that Eric has made.
All right, I just sat back and listened to y'all go. Yeah, listen, that makes for good content.
Eric works my nerves. He works my nerves.
I guess my thing is I don't want to be taken through the bloody napkins and the cough and the music in the background, and it's just like, oh my God. There was a couple of days I had to skip through it. Thank God I got DVR, because it's just too much. And so I got the parts where, of course, I do my recaps and stuff like that, but it's like, oh my goodness, I don't know how much longer we're going to have to deal with, watching either him continue to deteriorate or they find a magical cure. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Yeah. And then they found the stapler.
I was so annoyed by this. So, this girl, this comes out of nowhere. She's able to find Eric's missing stapler now, and it was all the way in storage. So Ridge knew where all of Eric's stuff was. He could have gave his daddy that stuff. I think when it came down to that stapler not be on the desk, that's when then Eric then turned. he went rogue immediately.
Yeah, because he was fussing about that stapler.
Mm-hmm. So this is my other question. Ridge is moving out of that office, but isn't Steffi also the co-CEO?
Sure is.
So has anybody discussed any of this stuff with her?
He will in the next few weeks.
And my guess is when she finds out that he's dying, that she's just going to concede and say, okay, I'll move out of the office too. But they have completely disregarded Steffi's role in that company. I don't care that she was in Italy. She's still co-CEO of the company. There's no reason why you guys couldn't have consulted with her. And Eric acting as if, everybody has just been disrespecting his office. It's just like, you wouldn't even have that office if it wasn't for your granddaughter. You wouldn't have that company if it wasn't for your granddaughter.
Girl, I'm laughing at Rachel Williams' comment. She said, did you see how old that stapler was? Looked like George Washington's stapler. That was...
it's the principle. It's the principle, okay? That stapler has probably seen more things in that room than probably we have, okay? That's the biggest commitment that he's had.
Listen, I think the show came on in 1987. Am I correct? And so I remember what 1987 looked like because I was, 16? I don't think the staplers look that old. That stapler looked like it came from the 1930s. So I know that they had to make the stapler look old, but yeah, staplers didn't look that old as far back as 1987.
Unless it's like an antique stapler. I
don't know. But I do agree with whoever said, either you or Keisha was saying that all of a sudden you go in there, oh, there's the box. And bring it back up. Yeah, and Ridge knew exactly. Can you go down there and there's a box in storage? Can you go get it?
Exactly. And he could have saved himself and some money by just getting his dad's stuff together. All he wanted to do was just be acknowledged. And had Ridge just wanted to work with his dad, just to
Girl.
work with his dad. Well, correction, work with the dad who's been raising him.
Mm-mm.
Because if when it comes down to firstborn, it's Thorn, but he has loved you, he has cared for you, he is giving you the skill sets and the talents to even be a part of that company. Even though you're a Maroni, you still
It's
should
not
have
like
been.
he knew that.
He knows present day, and he's still acting like he's for Sir Patient Zero. No, he he should have just worked with his dad. I think that would have saved a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of distress. I think he probably would have confided in his son. If anything, Ridge knows him the longest out of everybody. I think a close second would be Brooke. So and the fact that he had to go to Ridge Jr. for help, he was really reaching out to his son, reaching out to Ridge, the one he's been raising all this time, and still is, because he's still childish.
I don't feel sorry for Eric. I just don't. That man has been a jerk the entire run of this show. Egotistical.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad for him. I just don't.
Eric was a 304 himself. We can't even deny that. He's been with a lot of women, including Lauren, who we saw. So it's, I don't know. I think I feel differently for seniors. That's all.
And I just can't take this relationship with Donna serious.
Well, I mean,
that still annoys me.
Here's the other problem with this whole storyline is this diagnosis. And I understand there's some speculations that they don't want the fans to try to connect a certain diagnosis with what's on television, because...
Yeah.
But when you look at what's coming up in the next week or so, Ridge is going to try to figure out what's wrong with them. And when they talk to the doctors in the next week or so, there's no answers. So you're telling this man that he's dying, but you don't know what's killing him. So just to kind of give you, and I'll talk more about it in the spoilers over the weekend, but Ridge and Brooke go to the doctor with Eric to demand answers, but they come up empty-handed. Thorsten K had went into a whole interview talking about it, saying how frustrating it is. There are so many unanswered questions, and Ridge thinks that there's got to be other doctors, better doctors, other things that they can do. That's the thing about money. If you got a lot of money like the Forresters do, you think there's always a way to fix the problem. And there's no answers. How do you... Okay, if you know that the person is dying, what's wrong with them?
Even, I'm going to piggyback off of that. The fact that they went to other doctors when there's doctors in their whole family. Bridget, Eric's daughter. They have Lee and they have Finn. And I would even say throw Taylor in there. They all had doctor degrees. They all PhDs.
Yep.
And they all care for Eric. Well, not all. But Taylor and Bridget, yeah. But Finn would do anything to help Steffi's grandfather. So I don't understand, like, you went to other doctors when you have doctors in your family. It's going to be really funny next week.
Yeah, and there's no excuse now, because the first excuse that Eric had was, I want to keep it under wraps between Donna and RJ. They know now. Brooke knows. Katie knows. Ridge knows. You might as well rope in Finn and Lee and Bridget. Why not? That makes no sense to me. That you going around the world and back and nobody knows any answers, but you got 3 doctors in your own, within arm's length from you. It just makes no sense.
Whoa.
What's up?
I still want to see his original doctor. We still want to see him.
Oh, you want to see that guy?
Yeah.
Girl, you so funny.
Oh.
Oh, Keisha, you got
So
a
let's
little bit
come
of
to
a
a way with him.
you got a little bit of a eye candy crush.
I mean, that man is fine.
I'm telling Thomas.
We're going to keep them in separate boxes. They don't need to know about each other.
Oh my goodness. What, you got 2 side pieces?
Well, I got 3 because Finn's a little fine too.
Who?
Wow. Okay.
Who else she say?
Finn.
Oh, Finn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought Steffi was your girl though.
She is.
Mm.
This is
Oh,
this is
she
all
gonna
fantasy.
listen.
It's all good.
She gonna tell you L.A. is her town. You don't come over here trying to take her man. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to this final part, which is this whole thing with Steffi being back. And I like the fact that she came straight back to her husband. I can't wait till little Puke find out.
Me either.
And here's the thing. Liam thrives when he's fighting for a woman. This all this is going to do is just fuel this man to try to fight for Steffi more, because Liam hates losing. He hates losing a woman. He was doing a lot of back and forth with Wyatt with the same women. He's not worried about Finn. That's why he had no problem telling Steffi about the fact that Sheila and Deacon are engaged. He has no problem telling everybody that he's in love with Steffi. I don't think that the writers are going to just say all that and then these 2 kissers are still out there.
Ooh, girl.
Oh yeah, it's not going to be that easy either.
Listen,
I'm looking forward to it though, because I am praying that they let Liam be a full-on Bill Spencer level type of villain with this whole thing, because I have been wanting to see Scott Clifton play a villain type character for years now, and I think he would do a great job at it.
Well, hopefully we'll get to see it. You know, that Liam plays the villain. What I want to get to see, I want to see Liam cry a little bit. Yeah, I do. Whether or not he get his feelings hurt that Steffi is, I hope. What would be great, you know, since Liam like to walk in people's offices unannounced and people's houses unannounced, go ahead and walk in Steffi's house and find Finn and Steffi right there on that couch.
That's not going to knock him out. That's not going to knock him out. He need to take a trip over just to Forrester Creations in one of those offices. He need to just smell the aroma. That's going to knock him out.
What are you talking about with Hope and Thomas?
Everybody else still walked in on him. It's Liam's turn.
Well, Steffi about to walk in on Thomas and Hope next week, so she ain't gonna be happy about it either.
Oh yeah, I bet.
She's not gonna be happy because she knows Liam is going to be fully focused on her. She's like, I'm trying to work on my marriage.
Actually, she's going to be more upset at Hope that she's not actually going to put her brother back into a bad position, because she's going to learn that that's only physical.
Yeah, and rightfully so. I think that she should. But I think enough people have gone to Hope and have warned her about Thomas and questioning her judgment and what she's doing. And granted, we don't like what she's doing with Thomas, especially with him pleading and saying that he loves her and he's the only one who's trying to show that attention that she's been crying about. But this woman is going to still continue do what she wants to. And unless Thomas says no one's really going to stop them. And my question is, will Steffi tell Liam what she saw? Because that right there is going to be the nail in the coffin for Hope and Liam for a while. Because he will not be okay with the fact that Hope was sleeping with Thomas for months now.
Well, from what
Do
I
you think Liam
understand,
cares anymore? Because I feel like I've gotten the sense and the feeling that Liam doesn't seem to care, and I don't know. There was something that he said to, I think it was when he was talking to Wyatt. This was weeks and weeks ago, and he said something to the effect of, and whatever Hope is doing with Thomas, or whatever Thomas and Hope are doing together, or he said something like that. I can't remember who he was talking to or why he even said it. But and then for him to be the way that he was in that scene with Thomas a couple of weeks ago, it was almost as if everything before that didn't even happen, and it was like he doesn't care, because he's so laser focused on Steffy now, which is, I don't know.
I think he was saying something to, like, I think he was calling, and I'm paraphrasing, I think he was calling Hope a mistake, like his greatest mistake, or something that to the effect, like, he was downplaying Hope, and he was trying to say something about Steffi, like he should have always been with her. And the thing is, Liam, he will be laser focused on one woman 1 minute, and then as soon as he gets rejected, even for a second, he'll try to find the next woman available. He can't handle rejection. So that's why I'm hoping that Steffi does tell him. That way, that will be the nail in the coffin for Hope and Liam, and then she solidifies things with Steffi and Finn. With Steffi solidifies things with her and her husband. He ain't got no place to go to, or no one to run to. That's going to turn him crazy like his daddy.
I'm
As
looking
long as
at
he becomes a villain, that's the end game I'm looking for.
Dewan said, "Little Tink Tink lost to Thomas."
It was more than just a loss. She wasted no time sleeping with Thomas. She had a whole awakening. She got a new style, she had a new haircut, new everything. She was not missing Liam at all. I think she was just tired after a decade or so.
Yeah.
Technically, we can't even really say that he lost to Thomas, because Liam dropped her.
I mean, no, she was kissing on Thomas in Rome, and he had to witness that. So I mean, this is the same person everyone keeps saying stay away from, and she gives into that man. He lost.
Jenna, I don't think they are divorced. They signed the papers, but we never saw them file it.
And that is the thing that I still want to know with Hope. Like, I want to see, because there was at no point where Hope told Liam she was done with him. It has always been Liam saying, no, we're not getting back together. I want a divorce. I can't forgive you. It's always been him saying it and her asking. She has not once, and she still struggles with the fact that she lost Liam. And yes, she did kiss Thomas in Rome. However, she was, and I've said it before, she was never, ever prepared to leave Liam for Thomas. She wanted her marriage to work out, whether it was for Beth or whatever other reason. But then when she says to Thomas last week or a couple of weeks ago, she said something like, I don't know if I'll ever love somebody the way that I love Liam.
Yeah, that was a gut punch.
And it makes it just, I just want to, I need there to be something between the two of them where Hope looks at Liam and says, I'm done with you. Because I have a feeling that if Liam went to Hope tomorrow and said, let's work on our marriage, let's tear up the divorce papers, I feel like Hope would drop Thomas. Or she would think very hard about it. I don't think it would be easy for her to just walk away from Liam. And I think the only reason why she's doing what she's doing with Thomas is because Liam basically gave her no hope of their marriage being repaired.
I can't really say that. I would say, because the beginning of this year, we saw this girl. She was fantasizing about Thomas. She had thought about this man. She was perfectly fine in her marriage. And it just came to a point where she had to try to save her company. Now she's all around this man and starting having fantasies and then fantasizing about Thomas while they're getting it in, while she was getting it in with Liam. So she's thought about this. She has fantasized. She knows there was something that she felt was missing within Liam, that she was okay with stepping outside of her marriage. I don't think it's not necessarily a commitment thing because they were married for so long. Because I think Beth was 7 years old, so they were married for 7 years during that time. So she was happy to be committed with Liam. It's just I don't want to say she was bored with her marriage, or maybe she
was definitely bored.
Or she wanted to get.
We remember those sex scenes.
Or maybe she thought maybe I'll get a little get back or something from all the years that he's cheated on her. I don't know.
I don't even think it's any of that. This came out of her own blooming attraction to Thomas. Because during this past year, Liam has pretty much been laser focused on Hope. He wasn't sniffing around Steffi up until after Rome. Before that, they weren't having any issues. This is Hope start budding and having feelings about Thomas. And, we had Paris talking about, don't you think Thomas is hot? Yeah, he kind of hot. You remember all those conversations? And all of a sudden she was watching him and looking at him. She started building an attraction to this man all on her own. She's the one that's been projecting this whole breakup on Liam. Because as much as Liam have been waffling in the years past, this past year before Rome, Liam was pretty much focused. He was so focused that he would stay up at Forrester. Stay away from my wife, Thomas. Are you with my wife, Thomas? Leave my wife alone, Thomas. He was so laser focused on everything from the last year's fashion show. Hope started feeling some kind of way then. She blew him off when she was supposed to go home. She stayed on the couch drinking with Thomas. Thomas went in for a kiss. She pulled back and she left. Then they put it on the back burner because of the CPS call. Then we come right back to this in May. And then now she's like, Thomas is looking kind of hot over there. But then she was like, well, I don't want to have a divided heart. Well, up until 2022, yeah. But from 2022 to 2023 before Rome, Liam was focused on her. He was focused on her. She wanted to figure out and pull that old behavior out of the sky and use this as an excuse to cover up her attraction for Thomas. Now, much I like Dope. Believe me, I do. But she got to take accountability for that one. She can't put all that on Liam. Yeah. Even if he is a little puke.
And I'm not saying she doesn't have feelings for Thomas or that. Hell, maybe she's even in love with him by now. She's just not admitting to herself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that even with all of those feelings that she drummed up in this past year, before, Rome, all the fantasy she was having, all that kind of stuff, I don't think that her intention was ever to leave Liam. I think what probably would have happened is she would have ended up cheating on him anyway.
Right.
Later on down the line. But at that point in Rome, and even after Rome, and even, I don't know, a couple of weeks after they got back from Rome, she wasn't planning on leaving him. And I just need there to be something
solid
to show that she is just dead set against wanting to still be married to Liam. And it makes me wonder if they're dragging things out so long between them. Because it's a soap world. We know how quickly they put characters back into relationships. And for the amount of time that it's been for Thope, which is cool because they rarely ever do this. I just wonder if they're dragging it out so long because they're still not sure whether or not they're going to make them officially a couple. I hope that they do, because the chemistry is too good for them not to do it. And I feel like they've wasted enough years not having them together. But it almost makes me feel like they're the writers or the producers dragging their feet for a reason. And we still haven't heard Hope completely just be done with Liam, or say that she's done with Liam, or wants to be completely done with him. And I feel like they're doing that on purpose. They're doing it for a reason. And it's driving me nuts. And I know people are saying that they enjoy the slow burn and all that kind of stuff, and they're building up their love story. I get it, but I'm gonna need something to happen by the end of this year.
Well, we got, yeah.
Either give me something, give me a like a for real, I'm in love with you, Thomas relationship, or I need them to stop with Thomas telling her that he loves her, and I just need them to act like a normal couple and go on some freaking dates. Like, why can't they go on a date?
I was about to say that I was hoping for that too, but I feel like there's a missed opportunity, especially with like Hope's character. It's so unlike her for her to cheat and have an affair. They really shouldn't let this be a long drawn out affair where she's like lying and cheating, where she's lying about where she is, and like she has to keep up with all her lies. I wanted to actually break her and kind of really be in the other person's shoes when it comes to cheating. And then that way I can see like her emotions, waving, where she loves Liam, but she loves the way that Thomas makes her feels. Like, I wanted to see that storyline cycle of an affair. Yeah, we would have seen hot scenes of her sneaking off to have an affair with Thomas in the office. It would have shown maybe meaning, if that makes sense, guys. Where she's doing all of this and she's, getting, hot loving it at the end of all of it, versus she's aware that Thomas has feelings for her and she is continuing to use him for physical needs, and that's it.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's move back to the storyline.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I don't even think we had any soap this week. Barely.
We didn't.
But
how can you not talk about them?
I know, but yeah, I know. But with Steffi coming back, this also means that she claimed that she was no longer afraid of Sheila Carter, and that she wanted to confront Sheila Carter. And I gotta say, Finn said the right things. I thought you didn't want to be anywhere near Sheila. And she was like, yeah, but I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. Stay away from that lady. Why did you have to go over there? Sheila has not even been, except for the fact that Deacon invited Finn over to the restaurant a couple weeks ago. Sheila hasn't been nowhere near Finn lately at all. She's been keeping her distance. Finn's been keeping his distance. But no, you got to go over there and provoke a fight. And technically, both her and, what's her name? Lee. That could have been assault.
Yep.
I mean, it was assault.
It was assault. Yeah. Now, I mean, Sheila Carter is holding some restraints. Even though in her mind she was looking at them knives, but she did not act when Lee put her face in that spaghetti. And then I don't know what's going to happen on Monday, but I got to give it to Deacon like, hey, don't touch my girl. Because she stepped in her face and she turned around and she shoved her. It's like, and if I was Finn, I'd be like, what are you doing? You keep putting us in this position.
Yeah, exactly. I found it really funny that all of a sudden now she's not afraid of Sheila. So you took all this time away from your husband and time away from him spending time with his own children because you were terrified. Now all of a sudden you go to Europe and you're tie another wrestler. Stop. No. How was it this woman was terrified in the bathroom, last year when she saw Nine-Toed Sheila, and she was like, I think there was like spoilers saying that she was going to confront Sheila, and then all we saw her do was just be stuck on stupid. I don't understand what all of a sudden just changed. Did she get into martial arts? Did she hire a hitman? Like, why is she all of a sudden now so confident enough to go to Sheila's apartment and push her now? But you were so terrified for your children's life. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I mean, I know they had to figure out an exit strategy for Jackie to go have her baby. That's the thing, you know. Oh, I'm leaving to go off to Rome, and of course, you know, she went and she had her fourth child. So I guess that was the way they had to write it. But to come back, this is the woman that she's dangerous. Everybody, the famous words, dangerous. But you go over there and you poke the bear, her and Lee. It's like, stay out that crazy woman's face. She ain't bother you. She was on the couch with her legs all tangled up with Deacon. They was smooching. They were doing some tongue wrestling. They wasn't thinking about y'all. And she come over there banging on the door like she's the police. They come walking in.
This is the old messy Steffi from before she got shot. So this is what, in my opinion, this is what Steffi fans wanted. We wanted the old Steffi back, not the one that was scared for the last 3-4 months. So I'm okay with it. And like you said, they had to figure out an exit strategy for her to do her maternity leave, and that was the route they chose to take. Was that she was so scared she moved to, Italy for however long, and then now she's back, and she's back to her old self. So it was going to have to be one way or the other. Because what else are you going to do with the Sheila character? They couldn't have Steffi be afraid of her for however much longer she's on the show. So she was going to have to get back to her old self and not be afraid of Sheila anymore in order for any of this storyline to work.
First of all, Deacon shouldn't have let her in the house. Like, shoot, don't come over here with this nonsense. If you're going to come over to talk, talk. Otherwise, you in my house. On the flip side, Finn should have been like, didn't we just go through a whole bunch of stuff with this woman? You keep chasing her. You keep jumping in her face. After the whole thing, which I know we disagree, Keisha, back, with the alley situation. Then when she saw Sheila downstairs at Il Giardino, Finn had to stop her from chasing after her then. He was like, didn't you learn from last time? Then you go over there. I'm going over to confront her in her face. And Finn is like, I thought you wanted to stay away from her. Or y'all need... He goes right over there and looking at her like, duh. I'm like, dude, really? So, I like Sheekin. If Deacon can keep Sheila all loved up and booed up over there in that little love shack that they got going on, I'm okay with that. Everybody else just need to mind their own business.
Exactly. If you want Sheila out of your lives, you guys, then act as if she's not there. Don't go to El Giardino. I guess don't hang around Deacon. And that's pretty much it. That's all you can do. She was in jail until Bill took her out. So this is the result. Steffi's stupid father had the whole FBI, and they didn't stop her. So I guess all Steffi really can do is just, I'm not scared of you no more. Okay, this is the Michael Myers of daytime. Okay. I think she would take no qualms making a repeat of what she did in the alley.
Yeah, she keep doing it. It's like It's one thing if whatever happened in the alley. I'm not finna jump in your face no more. You put a bullet in me and my husband. I'm not doing that. I'm not finna chase you down the street. I'm not finna go over to your house. I'm not finna go over to your house and step in your face and shove you. Are you crazy? I ain't doing that. And for her to continue to do that, it's like, y'all, it's almost like same thing with Adam. They don't want him to do anything. They think he's doing anything, but you like to poke the bear so he can retaliate. So y'all can say, "Ooh, see, I told you so." The same thing here. Lee went over there specifically. She even told Finn that I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna change this. She wanted Sheila to react so she can automatically throw her butt in jail.
My thing is, if she was she's gonna do what she's gonna do, regardless of if Steffi sits at home on her couch and never says one word to her because she still wants to be in Finn's life, or Steffi goes and gets in her face. Either way it goes, Sheila's reaction is going to be it's extreme. It's always extreme. Right now, she's not reacting, but Steffi is still going to continue to say, "You're not going to be in our lives. Finn's not going to have anything to do with you," and Sheila's not going to put up with that, and she's going to try something. So, not saying that what Steffi did was okay. Like, yeah, definitely, you need to keep your hands to yourself. But Steffi could have just stood there and said X, Y, Z to her, and because Sheila doesn't agree with it, and it's what she doesn't like and what she doesn't want, eventually Sheila is going to do what Sheila does, and she's going to pour her little tricks and her little schemes and whatever else she's going to try, and she's going to be right back in that same boat that she was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, however long ago that was.
I mean,
because she's pissed off that she's not getting her way. That's her MO. That's what she does.
The whole thing about her talking about this is my LA is my town. I'm like, girl, what does that mean? You know, it's just like, come on. Seriously? Okay, and I can give you that, Keisha, if she just want to go and say something to her. Like, look, just stay away from my family and blah, 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 blah. But she took 2 steps forward in her face and then turned around and pushed her. It's like, what you doing? You trying to antagonize? It's one thing if you just say your piece and leave, but you purposely trying to do something to get somebody to react. It's like, girl, if you don't get out of here. And I'm glad Deacon stepped in.
He's gonna be. He's the only one that cares for her like that. I was laughing at the fact that she was like, "LA is my city. This is mine." So you own LA now, but you still have to run out the city because you scared of one person. but LA is your city. This is not a reality TV show. No.
Real Housewives of LA or something.
Yeah, this is not. No, you don't own a whole city, because if that were the case, you would have had a whole city working for you, and Sheila would not have been a thought.
No.
But
I'm wondering, those kisses got to fall in at a pivotal point, because after this, you know that she is not going to be happy with Steffi. She's going to see this as Steffi standing in the way.
Before Steffi even left.
Say it again?
She was still mad at her. I said she was not happy with Steffi before Steffi even went to Italy. So this little thing didn't change anything in Sheila with her. She didn't like her before now.
Right, but this would be even worse when you got somebody in your face. And if they're going to write this in a way where she needs to get Steffi out of the way, I mean, I guess the only thing would do that is to put little puke in between them. And from what I understand, Liam is not giving up, even though he knows that she is back with her husband. He going around trying to ask Riz for favors next week and telling his daddy how he figured he's the better man for her than Finn is. I mean, he ain't done.
Yeah.
So, and who knows, he might even lob a grenade up in there and say, "Yeah, I kissed your wife twice now," just to upset something, because he gotta know that Finn wouldn't be happy about that, and the fact that she kept that a secret.
I don't think Liam is going to purposely
If he's a villain, he
tell
could.
Finn,
I
because if he does, he would have to do it in a way. At least if he's saying it directly to Finn, he would have to basically do it in a way to make it seem as if Steffi wanted him to kiss her or accepted his kisses.
I don't think Liam's above ratting himself out. I think because
Right.
he's done it before. Because he's done it before. He just never takes accountability for his actions. He always places blame on other people, and he's just innocent and he does nothing. I feel he could be like, "Well, Steffi was scared. She needed comfort. I wanted to be there for her. I loved her. She and I have this history." Liam will say whatever. I don't think he would be above ratting on himself if he knows he can get Steffi in the end.
Especially if Finn is like, "See, you thought she was coming back home to you. I know I'm the man for her." And if Finn goes into this whole thing about making him one-upping Liam is like, "Oh, really? Well, maybe you didn't know this. Blah, 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 blah." And even if it wasn't the fact that Steffi kissed him, the fact that she didn't tell her husband that her ex kissed her, that's gonna be a whole problem. He gonna be like, "You kissed my wife." Of course, he gonna be pissed at Liam, but he probably also go, "How dare you not tell me that Liam kissed you?"
No, I feel like Sheila's going to be the one that finds out.
Exactly. That's even worse.
Yeah,
Uh,
it'll be Liam.
it
At
could.
least not on purpose.
I think if anything, it would come up in a heated conversation. Much of what you were saying, Letitia, he and Finn could have an interaction where that can come up in conversation, where Finn is like taking a victory lap and saying, "Hey, you didn't get my wife." Liam could be like, "We had those kisses." And then what happens if Steffi were to tell Finn that Hope and Thomas were sleeping together and Finn tells Liam about that?
Man, this whole thing can get messy. Like you said,
Yes.
with Steffi finding that out, and them kisses Steffi find out about Thope, and those kisses are still out there. That could be huge. But I just think that other big story, it depends on how long they're going to deal with this storyline with Eric, because that's probably going to take up a lot of going into the holidays.
Yeah.
And the fact that Steffi and Thomas is supposed to find out about Eric, so that's going to change their whole mindset with their grandfather passing away. So I don't know how they're going to enter it. It's going to be interesting to see how long they're going to pull out the Eric storyline in order to put the other storylines on ice. Because I can't see her being so focused on Sheila and all this other stuff when both her and Thomas find out that their grandfather is sick. And that's supposed to happen in the next couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm. Uh, mm-hmm. Do you guys feel that maybe they're going to keep dragging this out all the way to February? Because, like you were saying with Eric's storyline, they're going to take that all the way into the holidays for sure. They're going to drag that out.
I think the Finn Liam Steffi triangle is going to be dragged out pretty long.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you on that, Keish. Absolutely. I mean, it's already been, what? This is November. That was July. 4 months already that those kisses been sitting on ice.
Yep. And nothing came out about it. It makes sense for them to like focus on, I guess, Eric's storyline, because they focus a lot of like stuff around the holiday times.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe towards February sweeps, we'll finally get to see Hope and Thomas as a couple. So I can understand they really want to wrap all this up and kind of drag this out, because they will drag out Steffi, Finn, and Liam. They will definitely do that.
Oh, absolutely. That's going to be, yeah, especially with the bigger thing being this. I mean, if they're going to really truly exit John McCook, there's got to be an end date or a timeline to that, and that's not something that they're going to drag out for the next 6 months, obviously, because he's supposed to have less than 6 months to live, according to what the doctor said, even though they don't have a diagnosis. But the way that this is written, and he's coughing up blood and it's getting worse, so this is going to take up some time and some screen time, and especially with, like I say, Steph and Thomas finding out in the next couple of weeks that their grandfather is ill. I can't see them being so focused on Sheila. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think they're just trying to just wrap the little loose ends come to holiday time, and hopefully with the writers that came back, get some new fresh perspectives, fresh storylines for January. I'm hoping. Keep my
Yeah.
fingers crossed.
Taylor is back next week too.
Thank goodness.
For an episode, right?
Yes, November 9th episode next Thursday when she confronts Sheila too.
I read that her and Brooke didn't argue as well.
Yeah, they probably do over them kids. But I do know that spoiler for November 9th is her confronting Sheila.
I'm tired of them playing my girl.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do
Seen
with
her,
Krista Allen.
yeah, we have seen her twice in the last 4 months.
The last time she was on was the first week of October, the last week of September. That was it. She had like 4 episodes, and that was it. When she confronted Hope about Thomas. So, alright, you guys, let's go ahead and do our last 2 segments. Our Flip the Script segment and Who's Taking Some Seats. So, for those that are new here, our Flip the Script segment is that if there is one particular storyline that you wish you could change, that's where we flip the script, or a scene. And then who's taking a seat? Somebody got on your nerves, annoyed you, did something stupid, was bratty, and you need to go tell them to sit down somewhere and go think about what they did. That's where we go take some seats. So for the young and the restless, what do you have for your flip? Whoever want to go first.
I was trying to think of everything that happened this week. I would say for me, when when Adam and Nick were having that conversation where Adam was stating, hey, he did all of the stuff for his dad. I really wish he didn't say anything. I really wish he just kept it moving and kept it to himself. And I wish he had brought that information to Nate instead, because at least with Nate, he's suspicious of Adam, but he doesn't have the axe to grind against Adam. He might have taken that seriously over Nick.
Okay, what you got, Keish?
I would say when Sally and Nick were talking, which by the way, did they really need to go up to the room to talk? But anyway, when they were talking and Nick made the comment about, so this tells me that you're taking my advice serious and you're trying to figure out what your feelings are for Adam. I wish you had told Nick to mind his business. You broke up with me. I'm not your concern anymore. So please mind your business. You don't need to ask me anything about Adam.
I heard that. Okay. My flip the script would have been Adam should have just did this whole thing, and I mean it kind of wouldn't have worked either way because his siblings don't like him. But giving them information, and then they're telling you what to do, what not to do, and we don't want you a part of it and all that. Look, go help your dad. Do the nice things on your own. And like I said, with next week with Nicholas flipping the script on him, it's all because Adam is trying to be so accommodating and transparent to his siblings, but they take this stuff and use it against him. You know what? Just work with your pops on your own. Even though Victor is screwing over all of them, maybe he is, something's going on, but I don't know. I guess we'll find out. So that would have been my flip. What y'all got for Bo?
Oh, one that was really annoying me, I wish the writers would have written an interaction between Sheila and Lauren.
Oh,
Yes.
missed
What a
opportunity.
takeaway.
This annoyed me. I was hoping for these next couple of episodes, like, okay, Sheila's gonna pop in, or Lauren's gonna go to El Giardino. There's gonna be some sort of thing. There's no way they would have brought Lauren over here, and Sheila's alive and well, and there won't be any form of interaction. Didn't even get it.
Girl, listen, they did that twice because Nikki came over, no interaction, and Lauren
Yeah,
came
that's right.
over before, no it was missed opportunities all day.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, what you got, Keish, for Bo?
As happy as I am that my girl is back, I wish that she just would have went the road of, we're just going to pretend Sheila doesn't exist instead of going over to Deacon's and putting her hands on her.
Thank you. Yep. I totally agree. My flip is Deacon should have thrown both of them out. Don't come over here with that. Yeah, we were having a good time on the couch. We was, having a little bit of private time. My girl just got off work. She was complaining about happy hour. She wanted a foot massage and some kissing. And y'all come over here with that nonsense. Get out.
Yep. He can put his foot down. I agree.
Yeah, and sitting up there, let this go on. Both of them, Finn and Deacon. I mean, Deacon stepped in when Steffi put her hands on her, but Finn is just standing there like, oh, okay, I'm just here, dude. Okay, all right. Now, who's taking some seats on the Young and the Restless?
Kyle and Ashley.
Kyle and Ashley.
And Tucker can take a seat too. He can take a seat because I'm annoyed.
Hey, Bree.
Uh-huh.
I need you to block somebody in the chat.
Okay.
At the bottom.
I got him. There we go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Don't come over here with that.
Mm-mm.
All right, go ahead. Who was giving their seats? Keish?
Yeah, I think she was giving hers.
Go ahead, Keish. I'm sorry. We had to take care of that in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I said Kyle for obvious reasons.
Oh yeah, you said Kyle and Ashley. Okay.
Ashley, yeah, but I threw Tucker in there too because he's back to playing his little silly games as well.
Gotcha. What you got, Bree? Who's taking some seats?
Kyle. I have never seen a man voluntarily go to the sunken place. and Audra is driving that ship, so I guess he's going to take a seat and is going along for that ride. It's going to hurt like hell.
Well, yep. Oh well. Too bad, so sad. And then my take a seat is Nicholas and Victoria. They get on my nerves so bad. And you might as well throw Victor in there because he playing games. It's like, why are you doing this to your family? So, those are my seats. And we got a lot of them in there. Rachel said, I nominate Puke Boy for a lifetime membership in the seat sitting club. He could be club president. TA say, flip the script. They would have showed Ashley seeing Tucker crying outside after the conversation. I wonder what she would have felt anything about that. Jenna says Nick, Nikki, Victoria, Sally, Ashley, and Victor. And Bold, she wished Eric would have won the fashion show outright.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Mary says Kyle realizes that he should stick with Jabot. I hope he wake up and get out of this stupid plan.
I don't. I want it to all blow up in his face. I want him to try to carry it through and everything blows up in his face.
I agree.
Keisha said, let it blow. Let it blow. Mm-hmm. Jenna said, take a seat, Liam and Ridge. Oh yeah, Melissa, I agree. Melissa said, I guess who we know who the boss is between Finn and Steffi.
Oh, we've been on that.
Yeah, we've been on that. Some of us sometimes think he's a handsome, but yet a simp. Um, Ice Woman says Nikki, Victoria, Nick, and Kyle. Flip the script. Mary Hilburn. Eric tell everyone he's going to retire and marry Donna. Yeah, take Donna with you
Oh
too.
Lord.
If you gonna go off somewhere, take Donna with you. The whole Newman family and Kyle take a seat according to TA. Oh, and Darby 13 said, I wish Sheila would tell Deacon, I love you, but I can't have all these people coming in uninvited. Start fights with me. I can't do anything about it. Yeah, her hands is tied because the moment she even do anything, they're going to be like, see, I told you.
I
Um,
agree.
yeah, don't have these people coming over here. You know they're going to start fights and talk crazy up in. I wouldn't do it. Be like, what do you want? We want to see Sheila. Not today. Don't even answer the door. I know you're
Right.
in there. Yeah, we in here, so what? You
Exactly.
ain't getting past that door. So, Mary said Victoria, Nick, Nikki, and Nate take a seat. Kyle does need a big thorny seat that whip his butt. Nana says Hope was just having a moment, fantasizing a little bit too much, but Hope is always straight with Thomas, so she's not leading him on. He elects to stick around fully, knowing Hope's true feelings. Jenna agreed with something you said, Keisha. Um,
I don't remember what I said.
I promised not to unalive people for you, but I didn't promise to be a sitting duck for you. What are you talking about, Darby? And TA says, take a seat, Steffi, with her weak Laura Croft performance in Sheila's Faith. Wow. Okay. Mary says Sheila and Deacon get married and stay gone for a while. So yeah, I mean, even I gotta say, even though with the Young and the Restless, it was kind of dry. We spent almost 2 hours talking about them.
We did, yeah.
That was because I that was the first thing Keisha was texting me earlier. She was like, "I gotta rewatch Young and the Restless because it's just."
Oh, y'all. The last like month or so, I've been having the toughest time paying attention, and
Yeah,
I've had to watch it multiple times because it's like I watched it today, but I don't remember anything that happened.
yeah, it's just been It's been the same storyline over and over again with Victor and these kids, and Kyle and the Abbotts. So I mean, yeah, I agree with you. Keisha, get you some tea,
I,
girl.
I know. I will get off of this.
Sin-
You don't have like post nasal drip or anything that's giving you that cough, do
Mm-mm.
you?
It's a straight up dry cough.
Oh, that's got to be painful.
it
Yeah, it don't feel great.
happens. It happens. Like when you first like come to Florida for like a couple of days, you get that dry cough because there's so much heat and stuff in the air. Like I had to get used to it when I first moved out here. I'm
Oh
used
man.
to it now. It you'll be after like a day or so you'll be fine. I promise. It's
So
just
I
when you.
was. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
It's just part of being in the South. That's all.
I was good the first week, and then going into the second week, I had to fly out to Georgia for 2 days, and it was like the day I was coming back to Florida was the day I started feeling sick, and I was sick for the rest of that week. Sorry. So I wasn't even able to really do anything my last week there because I felt like my body was just in pain.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
I had a fever one night,
Oh,
and it was just like it ruined my last week there.
oh,
Wow.
I'm so sorry. I hope you feel better.
So, are
It's
you
all good.
feeling better? You just have the cough?
Yeah, I feel better now. It's
Okay.
just this cough is lingering.
That's good. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, just maybe,
It's all good.
get you some ginger and lemon and honey and make you some tea and stuff like that. I'm not, I don't know about the cough syrups and stuff, but the natural stuff, maybe try some tea like that and push a lot of fluids and water especially. Get you some zinc and
I'll have to do that.
vitamin D and vitamin C and all that good stuff. All
And I
right, you
think the one
guys.
thing that we forgot
Which
to talk
is
about during bowl,
what?
did anybody else feel the chemistry was better between the small interaction with Luna and Zende than with Luna and RJ?
I forgot about my Zende. As much as I talk about him being in the credits, we finally seen. Yes, it was hot. I was like, okay. I'm excited to see Zende just in general, and if they bring back Bad Boy Zende, I'll be here for it. I'll be really excited for
I
it.
actually see them as a better match than her and RJ.
Me too.
Yep, me too.
So you know that was a chem test.
Yes. And I hope that they saw what we saw.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people are writing different blog posts and articles about it. I did a video about it earlier this week. And I've seen other people talk about it on social media. So they're probably getting good reviews over the interaction between Zende and Luna. I think they're cute together.
Me too. Me too.
Now, where does that leave Paris and RJ? Because I don't see a connection or Paris and RJ being a couple. I don't know. I don't know.
Me either. It sucks because obviously Luna was brought on for RJ initially,
Right.
and literally 2 seconds in a scene with Zende, and you forget all about RJ.
Right.
Yeah.
And her.
Yeah, and I think she looked so cute with her hair pent up and the little hair curls falling down the side and everything. I was like, look at her. They got her made up real nice.
Her dress was cute.
Yep, it was. The shoes Katie had on and the shoes that Luna had on. I know Katie was like, how come cute shoes gotta hurt? I agree with that.
Yes, exactly.
And then one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
If Erica's getting ready to pass away, do you guys think that there's going to be a last minute nuptials with him and Donna, or do you think
I've heard some people talking about it. I don't know. I mean, they might pull a Devon and Hillary, you know, a deathbed wedding. I don't know. It's possible.
I hope not.
I'm curious. I hope not either. And I'm curious to see what Eric does with his shares in the company.
It'd be something if he leave it to, I don't know.
To Don, if he left that to Donna, do you know the war Ridge would have with the Logans?
Yeah, because you listen, Brooke was always Team Ridge. She'll definitely be Team Donna.
Yeah, so I don't know. Hopefully, we keep Taylor on. She might actually have a chance 2024.
Yeah, well, the question is, her contract is up in December, so I don't know. I hope she resign or.
Me too.
You know, so.
I really like her.
Please resign.
Yep. All right, you guys, huh?
I was just saying, we're begging you.
We begging, please. Yeah. We keep sweat begging. Please. please. All right, you guys. Like I said, stay tuned for this week's full spoilers for the 6th through the 10th. Stay tuned for the for the November sweeps videos that'll be coming out as well. And otherwise, unless you got anything else, we're gonna call it a night.
Sounds good to me.
All right, and feel better soon, Keisha. I'll check in with you throughout the week.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Bree, for coming on for Trish tonight too.
Absolutely. It's fun having fun with you guys. Thank you guys for having me on, talking about these soaps.
Hey, Keisha, are you available next week, or you got something going on?
Next week, I should be available next week.
Okay, and I think Trish should be back too. She has some stuff going on this weekend, so. All right. What'd you say, Bree?
I said it sounds good.
All right, so we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye, guys.